Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Albert Hall here in Launceston. This is Valor 8 coming to you live from Go Fight Live. We're streaming live around the world. My name's John Fergus. Joining me tonight, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, Graham Bradshaw. You're watching this on Fight Sports, brought to you by JPS Coatings. A huge night here tonight in Launceston. The Valor 8, it's the second year anniversary, and we've got a four-man eliminator, 9 fights on the card, a mixture of B-class and A-class fights. Grant, it's a big night.
It certainly is. Look, the B-class bouts that the introductory fights for the belt are 3 5-minute rounds. We're looking at no elbows. We're looking at no forearms. Up kicks are illegal. Rotational leg locks. When we get to the last 3 fights, the main event, of course, for the belt, 5 5-minute rounds. Anything goes.
Grant, with the four-man eliminator, there's so much at risk. The fighters know who they're facing up in the first finals, but you've got injury that could also play a big part in it as well. So the fighters really look to get through it without too much injury, and they don't want to waste too much energy as well. What sort of strategy do you take going into a four-man?
Look, as you said, Bushy, I think in that first fight, guys are looking to get in there, get out of there as quickly as possible. Of the 4 men fighting in the tournament, one of them does have past tournament experience, David Butt. He's been there, he's done that at a higher weight class. I think that's going to, if the weight cut's gone well tonight, I think that could play into his advantage.
Okay, so for the first semi-final, we've got Dave Butt taking on Chris Drummond, and the second final, we've got Adam Cook taking on Steve Maxwell. I'm going to put you on the spot here. What's your prediction for the winner of the four-man?
If the cut goes well, I think we go with David Butt. If not, anything could happen tonight.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go over to the big screen, have a listen to Callum Potter and what the 4 fighters have to say.
Well, Steve's got a very extensive boxing background, but for some reason he just left that in his back pocket. Every time he steps into the cage, he wants to wrestle, he wants to scramble. He's got a back choke win now. He's one of his extensive talents. He's got cardio for days. He just wants to stay in there for the long run. And it'd be interesting to see how his grappling and wrestling has improved down at BJJ Tasmania. I think that could be another sort of X factor to look out for, the ground game of Steve Maxwell. The X factor has 2 sides to it, whether his ground game's improved, whether it's laid a little bit dormant. If there's some very good ground fighters in this tournament, whether they can keep him on his back, control him and eventually sub him, that's going to be the worry for Steve. Oh, it's going to be a cracker. We're going to Steve to run around like a crazy man, entertain. You can never know what's going on with the Steve Maxwell matchup, mate. You can jive off the cage with a flying Superman punch, but I'm going to see him try to really push the pace and really test Adam. Adam's a really young fighter and he's a very confident fighter. Look at him, he executes a lot of high-risk manoeuvres, and it's a confident young fighter. He doesn't look to back up too much, and neither does Steve, so I'm looking forward to this one. What it seems so much is he does land a lot of strikes, a lot of elusive strikes, doesn't land too many with power, because he does like to move so much and his feet aren't planted all the time. He doesn't get that power into his shots, and no doubt Steve's got a super strong chin, so if he wants to really make those shots count, he's going to plant his feet, then he can hit him. I reckon this is a tough one. This is probably the toughest. I'm going to look for Cookie to really try to match Steve in pace. If he can't, I can see Steve really pouring on him late, take a real razor-close decision. Drum's really, as much as he hasn't had too many fights, he's actually quite an experienced fighter, a very smart fighter. So he's going to be using a wide array of skills to take it where he needs it best. Instead of playing into Dave's hands, he's going to go take it where he needs it to be. I reckon that might be the wrestling. Not that I've seen too much of Drummond outside, I think. I'm not sure whether his chin's been tested. I know Maxi put a couple on him, but I'm not sure Maxi put his best on him. And we all know Dave's got absolute rockets in his hands. So, look, it'd be interesting to see how he takes it when Dave does unleash that bomb. It's very easy to say what Dave's strengths are. I'll tell you why, because half my jaw's still hanging off that cage. Dave's got a sensational right hand. He's got sleeping pills ready to go, and he's looking to put it straight down Chris Drummond's throat. It's going to be the interesting thing. That's the big X factor in this tournament right now. How does Dave recover from a really quite an extensive weight cut? If he bounces back, he's got all his energy. He's going to be a handful for any of them. If not, is it going to be later? Especially when you look at that final being 5 by 5 minute rounds. How does he recover off that weight cut? That's the X factor. Dave coming out with energy and see whether he maintains energy and just waiting. It's almost like the Pandora's box, just waiting for Dave to unleash that big hammer right hand. Oh, it's a tough one. It can go either way. This is mixed martial arts. I'm going to say Dave, knockout round 1.
My first fight, I think, it's definitely going to be a war. Good standing striking showcase. My opponent has really great boxing, and I like to think that I've got good kicks, so it's going to be a good battle.
Knockout and submission. Either way will be good.
I definitely see my strengths again being my kicks, a little bit of grappling, a little bit of submission work as well, really just unorthodox style. I think probably weaknesses Stephen Maxwell is he's just not quite experienced on the ground. I think all on the day depends on how his headspace is.
I'm just going to close that distance and make him pay for it.
Excellent. I think again, once you get in the cage, you got to expect to get hit once, twice anyway. It doesn't really matter. I'd love to feel one or two and then give one or two back and stand there all day.
I love to test my body and see what it can go through.
I want the belt, want the fame and glory.
First fight, I reckon I'm going to knock Drummond out in the second round.
I'm hoping to finish both fights in the first round, TKO. Maybe been doing a lot of boxing, so maybe finish them standing as well.
Okay. My biggest strengths would be my actual strength itself. Probably my experience. I've fought heavier guys. His weaknesses, I don't think he can match my power.
You said you fought. I've got good wrestling, good boxing. I reckon his weaknesses will obviously be the weight cut, and he's not the most technical fighter ever.
I've heard it before, and I've proved it wrong before. So,
Valor is by far one of the best promotions in Australia for cage fighting, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
Get ready for a good fight. It's going to be a war.
I'm going to try and knock both my opponents out.
Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy the show.
I'm definitely getting to the final, and whoever I'm fighting, I'm going to knock them out in the first round. Ready to watch me knock 2 people out in one night.
This event is going to be unbelievable, and I'm going to bring some pain to people tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, across the world, we are live! Launceston, Tasmania on Go Fight Live. Our semi-final number 1, ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by Hotel New York, where the after party will be held of Kings and Gods Tattoos. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, semi-final number 1 from the blue corner, fighting out of Hobart, Tasmania. Please welcome Chris Drummond.
My name's John Fergus. We've got a massive night here tonight, guys. Of course, our first fighter coming in the centre ring, Chris Drummond, training out of the local boy out of Tasmania, and he's taking on Dave Buck all the way from Queensland. Guys, your thoughts on this first semi-final?
Look, I think this is David Buck's first fight down at lightweight. Chris Drummond, a very good wrestler, but on the other hand, loves his stand-up. He's very, very powerful. If David can stay on the feet, I think he could end it quickly. If it goes to the ground, I think Drummond might have it. Callan, what do you think?
Absolutely. Look, everyone keeps talking about Dave Butt and his weight cut. This first one's going to tell us how he's going. I'm pretty sure Chris Drummond's going to go take that to advantage, push that pace. Let's see if he can dodge that sleeping pill that Dave carries in his right hand.
Something really interesting to notice, I think Drummond was supposed to fight in the last Valor card. From that goes to see whether he's got that movement, that mobility when he shoots.
And also is Dave Buck going to take advantage of that and try and go for the early takedowns and maybe work it. Just put, try and psych him out a little bit, maybe throw some kicks at the knee as well.
Definitely something that's possible. Look, he's got a very smart trainer there in Dan Ensign Hyatt, one of the most experienced trainers in Tasmania. Certainly they'll have game planned well, knowing all these other 3 fighters and what they could do.
The boys are just, we've got Chris Drummond making his way into centre cage at the moment. Massive night here at Valor 8. The Albert Hall here in Launceston is chock-a-block full. It doesn't get any better than this.
Charismatic, man. Once you get in that cage, you feel the energy from everyone, from the balcony to the back of the room to the table. It's a one-in-a-lifetime experience, boys.
And I'll tell you what, the boys are pumped for it.
And his opponent, semi-final number 1, representing Launceston, Tasmania, the Punisher, David Buck!
And David Buck, some big crowd support as well, now based up in Queensland, but tell you what, boys, there's plenty of support for all the boys in this 4-man eliminator.
Absolutely. One of the original intents of Valor was to support Tasmanian MMA and really build the sport. In 2 short years, they've done that. They've gone from basically amateur fights to the production that everybody's seeing around the world this evening.
And of course, we're moving up to Brisbane shortly as well for an event up there as well. So, Phil McNally and Dan Hyde are doing a sensational job promoting the Valor brand. Big thanks too to Bulk Nutrients for getting behind us as well. These shows don't go ahead without the sponsors, and it's great to have these boys on board as the major sponsor here tonight.
That's right, and Bulk Nutrients have been right behind Valor since the very first event. Of course, they've got naming rights to the cage, the Bulk Nutrients cage there. Big supporters of MMA and a whole bunch of other sports down here in Tasmania and around Australia.
So guys, first, it's a B class, the first semi-final, 3 3-minute rounds. What sort of things do we expect to see from the guys going into it?
Well, obviously they don't want to sit there and spend a lot of energy in this first round. You've got to look at the fact that you may have a second fight to come out to. So especially you don't want to exert too much energy where you might just save stuff for plan B. So they want to get the job done quick, guys. Be it submission or knockout, they need to get out there ASAP.
And I definitely think that pace that you might need to keep in a tournament situation. Definitely David Butt, he's the kind of guy who does come out. He's got no feeling out period. He just goes there and throws heavy bombs from round 1. Callan, I think you've seen that firsthand recently, mate.
I am trembling just being in the same room with David Butt and a cage again. I've had nightmares about that right hand for months now, but it is exciting to see him get another shot. As far as I've seen, he earned a belt earlier this year, and now he can go out and get one this time. I'm a big rat for Dave, and I'm really interested to see how he comes out and steps into this bout.
Absolutely, just getting some last-minute instructions there from his coach, Dan Hyatt. As we mentioned, one of the most experienced guys in the Tassie MMA scene.
Guys, you said it was a big weight cut for Dave, but so was it a hard cut for him?
Look, he cut about 12 kilos in the last week. 7 days, 12 kilograms. That's just not normal for human beings. That's the sort of commitment, the passion that these guys have got in the cage. Spoke to him this morning. There's Dave right now, right up against our broadcast area. He's about 82, 83 kilograms in there for this fight right now.
And Chris Drummond as well, looking a lot bigger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Opening contest of Valor 8 2-year anniversary show. Semi-final number 1, 3x3-minute rounds in the lightweight eliminator. Proudly brought to you by Hotel New York, where the after party will be held, and of Kings and Gods Tattoos. Our referee in charge in the cage is the Honourable Mr. John Sharp. Firstly, to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Priscus Foganolo from the Hybrid Training Centre. This man is a wrestler. Official weight, 70.1 kilograms. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. Tonight we're in the all-black punch fight gear shorts. Fighting out of Hobart, Tasmania. This man has a record of 4 fights, 2 wins, 2 by way of knockout. Please welcome the Albatross, Chris Drummond. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by the bad guy, Dan Hyatt from Riot, Valtudo. This man, ladies and gentlemen, has a discipline in Millwood Jiu-Jitsu. Official weight, 70.6 kilograms, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Tonight we're in the grey shorts with a white trim. 8 fights, 4 wins, 3 by way of knockout. Fighting, ladies and gentlemen, and representing Brisbane and Launceston, the Punisher, David Bond. Fighters to centre cage, please, for final instructions.
Focus, ready to go.
Yeah, bout number 1 proudly brought to you by Hotel New York, where we're having the official after
lads,
party.
we've been over the rules to keep it clean, okay? Listen to my instructions at all times, protect yourselves at all times, touch gloves and step back.
And we've got the GoPro cam on our referee as well, something a little different. We had a little bit of trouble syncing it up. We were hoping to get some live shots from it, which would have been interesting, but we had a little bit of trouble with that one, so maybe next time round. But here we go, guys, 3 3-minute rounds, first semi-final.
Absolutely, looking for both guys to come out really quick here. There's no touching gloves there. I know the Riot Valor guys, that's part of their gym policy. They like to get out there and go early.
Dave's unleashing those hammers early. There, Chris goes for the shot.
There's no surprise there. Dave defending hard. That's going to take up a lot of energy. He's on his back there, you can see.
Secured himself in a nice half guard position, trying to flatten Dave out. Oh, nice. He's back to his feet early.
And Chris Drummond's had a couple of stand-up Muay Thai fights as well, so he's obviously very proficient with his hands.
He has these guys these days. It's no good to just be a jiu-jitsu fighter, just a puncher. They've got to be very, very well-rounded. You can see here early on, both guys back on their feet, looking for those headshots.
Dave looks very calm, actually, and he's pacing himself really, really nicely. Still unloading bombs when he can. He's actually putting himself into a nice round, and there's that right hand.
Whoop, Dave's in trouble here. Dave's in trouble. Can Drummond capitalise?
Back into a wrestling stance. He seems to have his feet back under him.
What you'll often see when fighters do get a little bit rocked in MMA, they'll go for the clinch just to get a little bit of time. to recompose themselves. They're in close, they're nice and safe.
Grant, had a bit of a quick chat to you earlier on the night as well, and you mentioned that Chris Drummond might have been the dark horse coming into this.
Yeah, look, he's the HTC boys have got a very well-rounded skill set. They're not from one particular discipline. They've got some judo, they've got some great striking coaches there. Priscus Fogagnolo, again, just like Dan, one of the very, very experienced Tasmanian fighters. They come out with a very well-rounded skill set. But we can see here David swarming Drummond.
He's landed that right hand about 3 times now. Chris is holding strong, but he's owning the cage.
And you can see cage control very, very important. The entire fight, Drummond's been on his back on the cage.
Nice
so Dave's controlling the centre there.
Nice feint by Dave. There's our first kick of the fight, boys.
Looking to slow David down as he comes forward a little bit.
Nice jab there from Drummond. Guys, the 4-ounce gloves, you've got to keep your hands up.
That's exactly right. There's plenty of gaps there if you don't keep your hands together. You haven't got those 16s to guard your face. Drummond's lead hand starting to look a little bit low now. A lot of fighters will do that to protect the takedown. I don't know that Dave will be looking for a takedown here.
So we're inside the last minute of this first round of the first semi-final, but unleashing the hands.
A little bit of separation there. Drummond's having a good time here.
Drummond seemed to enjoying the stand-up. He hasn't re-shot on Dave now after he's landed that heavy shot himself. Oh, Jesus.
Good sneaky uppercut from Butt as well.
Absolutely. He's got very good hands. He's got very smart hands. A lot of people look at Dave Butt as a brawler. But he's actually a very well-educated striker. He knows what he's doing. He's just not throwing punches. He's looking at what's coming in, what's going.
Guys, were you expecting this one to stay on his feet as long as it has, or...?
Look, I thought Drummond would try and take it to the ground early. He did. Dave got to his feet, and this is pretty much where I think both fighters are very comfortable here as we go into the last 10 seconds of round 1.
Nice jab. Nice overhand right. He swings that wild, Chris Drummond does, but he does when it lands. It's just going to do damage.
There's another great leg kick there. Good look around from Drummond.
I'll tell you what, boys, the nerves are now out, and I'll tell you what, the crowd's really getting into this one as well. Big thanks once again to Hotel New York and of Kings and God's Tattoos. Let's go over and have a look at some of the highlights from this first round. How did you see it, guys?
Look, I think obviously with the early takedown there, Drummond started off with an advantage. When it got back to the feet, Dave really started asserting. He showed his superior experience, in my opinion. I think he took control of the cage, controlled the centre. Both fighters throwing some good strikes there, but I think I might have just given that one to Dave 10-9 if that was me in the judge's position.
We did see Chris Drummond rock Dave Butt with a good hand over in the blue.
That's true, and we can see that on the replay right there.
I agree with you, Grant. As much as that Chris did have a quick takedown, he didn't really do much with it. And Dave has done, I think, a lot of the damage. Besides that knockdown, I think he's controlled the ring and been more aggressive. So he's landed more effective shots, and he owned the cage easily. And he actually seems to be holding his tank quite well. He doesn't seem to be phasing. He's pacing himself really well.
Seconds out.
The weight cut might not play into it as much as people think.
So here we go, round number 2. Big first round for both boys.
Referee John Sharp about to get things underway. Of course, all the referees down here at Valor are the highest experience levels. Of course, Sharpie has been in the UFC there, and now he's down here in Tasmania tonight.
Yeah, again, the boys acknowledged they weren't going to touch gloves.
That's right. It's a bone of contention for some gyms. Some see it as an honourable thing. Some see it as giving up an opportunity.
Oh,
Dave's
both landed there. Both landed there.
I think there might be a little bit of blood starting to come from Drummond's nose there.
He's got some big swinging hands, Drummond. If one of those catches Dave Butt.
He does. Of course, the flip side of that, if Dave can get inside and throw one straight down the pipe, that could be all over.
You throw your hands like that, though, makes it very difficult to bring him back into defensive motion. So you throw anchors out there, and you end up getting hit.
It's big,
nice
big stage, 20 years of age for Chris Hammond. So a big stage for him to be on. Dave Butt, 24 years of age.
Nice left hook and returned.
Both guys here willing to trade. No one taking a back step at the moment. Dave looks very measured in this fight. We've seen him sometimes come out really quickly, just looking for those big shots. He seems to actually be the more composed of the two, I think, this evening.
Giving lots of hip feints as well, making him think he's going to throw that right.
And again, guys, they're happy to keep it up on their feet at this stage.
Absolutely.
I think, really, when all's said and done, as much as mixed martial arts is a very three-dimensional sport, I guess you could say, a lot of the fans, what they want to see is two guys standing there really bringing it to each other. And you'd certainly hear that with the huge crowd that we've got here tonight at the Albert Hall.
The other interesting thing is is here tonight, guys. These semi-finals are fights 1 and 2, and then they have to wait till the very end of the night. So you cool down, you get rid of all the adrenaline in the body. How does that impact you coming back at the end of the night?
Well, having been there myself, it's not too bad. You get to go back out, reassess things, get that warm-up back in. That's the important thing, is you do that warm-up once again when you do come back out.
Now in defence though, Callan, I've got to say, your first fight was about 20 seconds. David's sprawled again there. You can see every time Drummond shoots, David's ready for that. They've game planned very well.
But Dave Butt was happy to get back up on the feet again.
Absolutely, that's where he wants to be. Drummond, of course, he's putting up a fantastic effort right now. All it's going to take is one of those big swinging shots, and Dave could be going night-night.
Absolutely. It's all good to be tough, though, with Drummond, but he's going to start taking this fight where he's going to win. In this moment, he's not winning in this realm.
That's right. He's starting to take in those hard breaths, Dave, with a great little right uppercut there.
We've got a bit of clarity out of Dave's nose now.
Yeah, and Dave Butt recognised that. Dave Butt bleeding from the nose as well.
I think that could have been a knee straight down the pipe there. 20 seconds to go here in round 2.
Dave's being very cautious. If he's not going to finish, he's back out there.
That's right.
Nice jab again.
Drummond ducking and weaving, looking for an opening.
There's some more stickers on the cage mat.
10 to go. Drummond just covering up here. Dave looking to finish things down in the second round. Both fighters definitely giving the crowd what they want to see.
Yeah, and a big round 2 again for Dave Butt, I think, guys.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Both boys now bleeding profusely from the nose as well, so the corner's got to get back and do a bit of work at it. But again, Dave Butt very strong with his hands, and he was happy to get back up on his feet as well.
And he looks the fresher fighter coming into round 3.
And one of the things that Butt's been successful with, he's been sneaking that uppercut through in close, and he's been hitting the target every time.
That's right, and I think with Drummond, that's a big factor because of those looping punches that he does throw. They've got plenty of power on them, but they do give Dave plenty of time to come through the middle there and hit something short, and he doesn't need a lot of wind-up. He's one of those fellas who will knock you out with a very short punch. We can see there Drummond's shooting on the single leg. Dave sprawling nicely. The single leg with the head on the outside there, it's a little bit easier to defend than a classic head inside single.
Oh, beautiful combo by Dave. His footwork has been very impressive as well, cutting the cage off beautifully. And then when he is getting his flurries off against the cage, he's not wasting shots. He's tend to do that in his future past. He's obviously done a lot of work on not wasting that power that he has.
Absolutely. You can see there, he's getting his hips underneath him. He's getting his feet set and really picking his shots there.
So here we go, the third and final round. Valor number 8, the 2-year anniversary, $3,000 up for grabs and the belt for the winner.
You know, it'll be interesting to see already. Both of these guys, 2 rounds, we're 6 minutes through. They've been in an absolute war already. This goes another 3. We go to a decision. You've got to wonder how these guys are going to go a second time this evening.
I think Dave's going to play it same he's played it last 2 rounds, being very cautious, picking what shots he wants.
I think so. That was a big right hand, though, that Drummond connected right on the temple of Dave.
Nice.
He just walked through it.
Oh, there's a kick by Dave.
I think it was mostly arm that it landed on. Drummond again playing that ducking and weaving, throwing the odd big hook. I think he knows now at this point. He's got a very experienced corner. Surely they've told him, you've got to come out here this 3rd round. You've got to finish this fight.
Absolutely. I think he's got to start peeling his back off the cage. He's not winning the fight coming. He's backing against the cage. And Dave to land the shots he chooses.
No, look, I think even though Dave's been fairly successful in defending the takedowns, I really think that Chris's best opportunity at this point is to hit that takedown. Look, of Dave's losses, 3 have been by submission. He's going to be very hard to knock out. But if you get him on the ground, he is a little bit susceptible.
100% agree. That's the avenue to get this finish, and that's what he needs.
Let's see, can he do it here in the 3rd round? We've just got 2 minutes remaining now to see who will be our first finalist in this lightweight tournament.
Yeah, really, Drummond's just got to throw caution to the wind now.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no point just waving him on there. Oh. There we go. I think Drummond's looking to counter at this point, inviting Dave in.
There's that big right hand he's been looking for the whole fight, but Dave just ate it like some cheesy toast.
You've been lining that one up, haven't you?
No, I'm just waiting.
And I tell you what, you wouldn't want to be the guy that's got to get into the end of each round and clean up the claret off the white canvas.
No. Fortunately, it does clean off very well, but we've had some very decorative moments, I think you could say. It's looked like a Sydney Pollock painting a couple of times in there in the Valor cage.
Absolute. Nice range of Merlot all over the mat at the moment.
Definitely. I think we can see here in this 3rd round, both fighters have probably slowed just a touch, still keeping up a really intense pace, though.
It's a real fastball right hand, Chris Drummond's throw, isn't it?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Straight from the NBL.
I think he's looking to strike Butt out.
Yeah, he is.
Tell you what, you've got to give both these boys some credit, though.
Oh, absolutely. There hasn't been a lot of body shots. There haven't been a lot of leg shots. Everything has been thrown. It's been going straight at the melon.
With Dave instigating a lot of kicks in this last round, makes me think that he's confident, he's calm, he's not fatigued.
Yep, a little bit less concerned about being caught and being taken down there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As we approach the last 30 seconds here in the third and final round of this semi-final. I think now Drummond's got to go. He's got to leave everything in the cage. He's got to go all or nothing right now. Here we go, that big overhand right there. It looked a bit like Chuck Liddell back in the day. Just needs that mohawk there. I think at this point, Dave's fairly confident, but again, anything can happen right here to the end bell. You just don't know what's going to happen. You can see him pressing that left forearm up against Drummer's neck. Final 10 seconds. I think we could see fireworks here.
That was always coming.
That's right.
Oh, you've got to give it, though, to Chris Drummond, though. He's bought it here tonight.
Immensely. And you can listen to the crowd right now. They're happy with that fight. Both warriors embracing in centre ring.
What a way to open up this night. And I tell you what, Dave Buck should be going through to the final. Full credit to Chris Drummond, an absolute warrior. Grant Bradshaw's going to get up and interview the fighters now. Callum, what a sensational first bout of the night.
Absolutely. Look, if that first round was ever going to come into question about which side it was going, Dave's gone and conclusively won rounds 2 and 3. So look, I'm pretty sure he's got it in the bag. But the good thing is, as much as this has gone the distance, I don't think Dave has taken as much damage going into the next round of fight. Yeah, he's got a little bit of claret coming out the nose, but I think his tank looks sensational. Hasn't worn a lot of body shots or leg kicks, which tend to hinder you later on.
Yeah, and Dan Hyatt looking very happy in the corner as well, so we'll come back with the official decision shortly.
There's Dave using that beautiful jab. I love the way Dave mixed up his attack today. Didn't just go with that clinch and bomb, which he's actually really well known for. He's mixed in with some different head movement, beautiful hip feints, and had Drummond thinking.
Also a big shout out to of Kings and Gods Tattoos and Hotel New York for getting behind this first bout of the night.
Hotel New York tonight. Everyone's getting down there. That's where the place is going to be.
Fighters to centre cage, please.
So here we go for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. Judge number 1 had a 30-27, judge number 2 at 29-28, and judge number 3 had a 29-28 for your winner. And now going into the final, from red corner, the Punisher, David Hall.
No surprises there, Callum.
Absolutely not. Good. A couple of those judges gave the first round, which was quite...
Here we go, guys. Semi-final number 2 coming up the tail of the tape. 19 years of age. Adam Cook, the smiling assassin, taking on Steve Maxwell's got an impressive boxing background. Good fight record from Adam Cook, 3 fights, 2 wins, and Stephen Maxwell 2 fights for the 1 win, making the transition to MMA. Guys, you've been giving it a bit of a wrap-up, so let's get over to Perry Cale.
Bout number 2, ladies and gentlemen, a semi-final number 2 as well. Valor 8 second year anniversary show. Our next contest proudly brought to you by Tassie Instant Marquees and Rockstar Energy Drink. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner from Hobart, Tasmania, the former IBF Australasian and Pan-Pacific Boxing Champion, Super Stephen Maxwell.
As we said, Stephen Maxwell, an impressive boxing record, WBC Asian Boxing Champion, IBF Australian Champion, but he's also taking on another boxer in Adam Cook as well. But Steve Maxwell, 31 years of age, the veteran, I suppose, of ring experience.
Look, he is the oldest man in this competition tonight. He's the oldest man on the card at 31 years of age. At 35, that makes me feel quite old saying that. Little known fact, in one of his most recent bouts, even though he is such a successful boxer, Stephen actually won by a rear naked choke, so he certainly is developing that ground acumen.
Was there any science in the matchups of the semi-finals of these guys, or did they draw it out of the hat?
It was drawn randomly, so it didn't really matter which way the fight, the match is fight. All of these guys here in this tournament are all warriors, they're all exciting fighters, and they all have their work cut out for them here tonight, whichever person they face.
Well, the interesting thing, both of these boys have got some good boxing skills. We just saw Dave Buck with some devastating hands in the first final, so it just opens up the main event, so whoever goes through, I tell you what, don't blink when the main event comes around.
That's exactly right. I think if Stephen gets through there, that'll be an absolute slugfest. If the Smiling Assassin gets in there, that'll be a really intriguing matchup. We've got David Butt, who, as we said earlier, even though he's got that real technical game, he brings everything forward. Adam Cook, I think he's a little more considered, I guess you'd say, in his fight style, a little more cerebral, if you will. Well-rounded, perhaps.
The MMA scene down here in Tasmania, it's fairly big. So, we've got a stacked card here tonight, a stacked house. It's great to see the support come out.
Absolutely. Look, I think the past few cards have gone, if not sold out, very, very close. I know 2 years ago when Valor was very first formed, I think there were 25 to 30 registered fighters in Tasmania. Now there's over 125 in 2 short years. That's about a 400% increase. They're doing fantastic things here as we see Stephen Maxwell enter the cage in the Vale Judo shorts.
It's looking very ripped, short and stocky. Probably the smallest fight, or the shortest fighter on the card as well here tonight. In the four-man.
Yeah, and also
his opponent, fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania. Please welcome the Smiling Assassin, Adam Cook.
And again, the local fella from up here in northern Tasmania out of Burnie. I'm just really impressed with the quality of fighters we've got coming out of Tasmania. Up in the mainland, you don't hear a lot of what goes on down here, but I tell you what, this quality promotion, the quality fighters that are coming out, it's putting MMA on the scene.
Yeah, Adam Cook's, he comes from my local town in Burnie, a little town of 20,000 people up the top of Tasmania, and he's extremely popular up there. Yeah, has a really good name. Everybody knows that Adam Cook's the pride of the town, you know, the talent of the town.
And it's great to see as Adam comes out, he's not known as that guy who's going to go into pubs and pick fights. He's not that guy who's going to cause trouble in the street. He's known as a really respectful, well-trained, elite martial artist. And that's the sort of image that we obviously want to build in this sport.
Just looking at his fighter bio, he's been a martial artist since age 7, so he would have grown up with all the discipline of traditional karate background, which it is all about the tradition and the respect. And as you said, Greg, it's not about going out. You know, there's this theme out there that MMA fighters or fighters in general are folks. They're probably the finest trained athletes on the planet, these guys.
That's exactly right. When you train as hard as these blokes train every single day of the week, 24/7, 365, they don't have time to go out, get on it and cause trouble. If they do that, their sport's going to suffer. We've seen in a sport like this, one minor mistake in the ring, one lack of preparation, and it's all over for you.
You see such a wide variety of professional fighters as well. You know, up in Melbourne we've got a guy who's worked in the tax department that doesn't account. You get builders, you get solicitors. It's not what people think it is. It is a full-time profession for these guys that'll train 6 days a week, 2 and 3 hours at a time, twice a week.
The difference is that Adam's not a builder or a solicitor. He's a full-time martial artist. He lives, he breathes it. When he's not training mixed martial arts, he's teaching it.
Semi-final number 2, ladies and gentlemen, in the lightweight eliminated 3x3-minute rounds. Proudly brought to you by Tassie Instant Marquees and Rockstar Energy Drinks. When the action begins, ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge is the Bull, Mr. Peter Hickmott. Firstly, to my left, fighting under the blue corner, trained by Andy Reid from Barossa Boxing Club and Maromba South BJJ. Official weight, 69.7 kilograms, standing 5 feet 6.5 inches tall. This man is a discipline in boxing and BJJ. Tonight we're in the all-white fight shorts. The former IBF Australasian and Pan-Pacific boxing champion. 3 fights, 2 wins, 1 by way of submission. Fighting out of Hobart, Tasmania. Please welcome Super Stephen Maxwell. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Oscar Harding from the Shen Academy. Official weight, 70.2 kilograms, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Tonight wearing, ladies and gentlemen, the WMD fight gear, fight shorts, black and red. This man is a discipline in Shen Academy martial arts. 5 fights for 3 wins. Fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania. Please welcome Adam, the Smiling Assassin. Cool. Fighters to centre cage, please. Final instructions.
We'll see. Stephen Maxwell probably looks the bigger of the 2 fighters. He is shorter, but he's a little bit more muscular there. It'll be interesting to see. Jeb, you obviously know both men quite well. Did the Smiling Assassin have to cut much weight to get down here to the lightweight tournament?
Yeah, Adam actually sits around heavier than Stephen Maxwell. Stephen Maxwell probably cut the least weight out of everybody yesterday, and he did look the healthiest at the scales.
Interesting.
So big thanks to Rockstar Energy Drinks and Tassie Instant Marquees getting behind this one. Predictions, guys?
Look, again, I think just like the last fight, if it stays standing, Stephen Maxwell. If it goes to the ground, Cookie's unpredictable ground game, I think he could get the sub here.
I think Adam's boxing is good enough to be able to take Stevens, and I think his all-rounded MMA game is too technical, and I think he's going to get him the win in the end.
Fantastic. Let's see how it goes. Stevens got the underhooks there, the double underhooks, looking for the takedown. He looked for a trip takedown, then a suplex. Adam turning around, really great pummeling there. Now he's got Maxwell on the back of the cage, throwing knees up the middle.
Oh, good knee there from Cook. Got a 4-inch height advantage.
And that makes a huge difference when you do throw those knees to the head. You've got to see, though, very careful here. You do throw those high knees. If things don't go right, you can wind up on your back fairly easily.
Good takedown defense by Adam Cook there. It's something that he's struggled with in the past, but he seems to be handling the takedowns pretty well so far.
That's right. You often see guys who are really comfortable with their defence, with their takedowns. They often don't mind going to ground too much. Here as we reach the first minute of this first round, Stephen Maxwell, throwing an inside kick there. For a boxer, he does throw a lot of kicks. In fact, this is the first fight that he hasn't come out with a flying kick first off.
I really wish that Maxwell would get back to his roots, though, because that's what made him a great fighter in the first place, is boxing. He needs to get back to it now in the MMA cage.
That's right. Let's see as we reach the midway point of the first round here. Both fighters looking very comfortable in the first round.
And Adam's down to southpaw at the moment, looking to land that left kick. Both men will switch stances a lot.
Jebediah, you said you've trained with both of these boys. Did you have a talk to them leading into the fight on what their expectations were?
These two are friends outside the ring, but one thing is certain, these guys aren't friends here tonight. They're here to knock each other's faces off. They have one goal in mind, and that's to get this title, and they don't care who they have to get through.
As we saw there, Adam Cook throwing another knee to the head of Stephen Maxwell. Certainly I got plenty of friends, but I don't know if any of them would throw a knee to my head, and I don't know if we'd be friends after that.
Oh, I've had a few.
And Steve's got good double unders again here, but he has got his head on the outside. Adam could look for a guillotine potentially.
Adam
I
does
don't
have
think
a
so.
very good guillotine as well. No, Stephen Maxwell showing good posture.
Yep, he's looking instead. He's pummeling that underhook on the left-hand side. They're really trying to sprawl, defend the takedown as Stephen drives him up against the cage. What Stephen will be looking to do here, he'll be looking to get those knees together, suck the hips out, and put Adam on his back in the last 25 seconds of this first round. There we go.
He's going to get the sweep.
We've got a crucifix position here.
Nice battle for positioning there. Maxwell on top now.
Yep, you can see Adam Cook. He's a really evolved mixed martial artist. He's using the fence to his advantage. He's using his feet as we reach the last 10 seconds, trying to come out. Fight goes back to his feet, another knee to the head. He's looking for that guillotine. It just won't come on with one hand. You've got to be very strong to do that. Inside leg kick to finish off the first round.
Oh, there you have it, guys. A great first round. How do you see it?
Look, I really don't know which way to go there. Seeing the two guys there, both of them are a little bit exhausted. Possibly a slight edge to Cook. I think he might have controlled the round there. But as we've seen with the scoring in these fights, anything could happen. It was very close.
Again, pretty much this whole fight was spent up on the ground. The guys didn't want to go down. It was so interesting that the guys are willing to keep it on their feet at this stage.
Yeah, I think when you've got two guys with such good hands there, they both want to show off to everybody what they've got. Mixed martial arts has come a long way in Australia, but there is still an element of people who think that when it goes to the ground, there's two guys hugging, they don't realise how much technique's involved in there. In saying that though, the grappling scene in Tasmania, I know there was a big grappling comp today, a few seminars going on. The grappling is really building down here in Tasmania, and the fans are becoming more and more educated and appreciating that.
I think there's so much out there now. Obviously, UFC leading the way, Pride. There's so much on TV now that you can watch. And again, with events like this, the general public are becoming more and more accustomed to what it's all about.
That's right.
And certainly the popularity of it is testament to what's happening here tonight.
Yeah, I think really accessible is the best way to describe it. It's just so much more accessible. You turn on television, you see it. You walk around the street corner, there's a gym as we go into the second round here. It's just anybody can get involved in it. There's kids here tonight who are 6 years old. I've seen grandparents who are in their 60s.
Adam really trying to control the range at the moment. It's down the outside and lane kicks.
I think he's starting to use that reach advantage, looking for those push kicks there. Stephen trying to close the distance, a slip there.
And Maxwell, when he's throwing his punches, he's squatting down, so he's literally having to punch up to try and reach Cook.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's a very traditional thing for a boxer to do, as Stephen works the takedown there and winds up in Adams' guard. Oftentimes they'll drop the hips. Adams working for an armbar here now. He's going belly down.
Well. Nice.
Stephen defends nicely, swimming over the top, and now he's got the back there. What Stephen wants to look to do is get his hooks in, otherwise he will get rolled.
Adam will look to grab Stephen's arm here and turn him over like a hip toss from his back. That's Adam's main way. He escapes the back position. And you can see him try to do it now, roll Stephen over onto his back.
That's right.
That was a great transition from Maxwell, and it just goes to show that you can transition from a stand-up sport into mixed martial arts.
It does, absolutely. Now, an interesting thing there, it looks like Stephen's working for a variation on a head and arm choke.
Sweep Adam.
Adams on top now, not only swept him, he's come on, he's inside control. Stephen's trying to get through for that half guard position. Of course, you're controlling a little bit the opponent's legs, the opponent's hips. That does give you a little more protection.
For the mounted crucifix, and he has a very nice one as well. It's one of his go-to moves from side control.
Adams
wants to step over that arm and look to land ground and pound.
Yep, and Adams doing a very good job of avoiding being put in Stephen's guard. Stephen looking to turn out there, but great control. He goes into the mount now. He looks for those grapevines. He'll sit up, posture up, and ground and pound.
This isn't the first time that Stephen Maxwell survived from a mount position, though.
No, that's right. I think last time I saw him fight, he's rolled to his belly now, but I think he spent 3 minutes in that position, came back to win. What Adams looking to do now here is work for the rear naked choke. He'll use anything he can to try and open up Stephen's chin. A lot of guys will just tuck their chin to defend. Really, at this level, that's just not going to cut it. He's doing well to defend, though. Can't quite see the angle there.
It's definitely a hard guy to finish, Stephen Maxwell.
Absolutely, he won't give up.
He's got the hooks in now, Cook.
He does have the hooks, but he's got double underhooks with the arms. That makes it very difficult. If Stephen just hugs his arms together, even though he's not in a great position, he's quite well protected at the moment. There's nothing that Adam can do with 40 seconds remaining on the clock here. Stephen's up to his knees now. It's certainly an easier place to defend. Adam's got to be careful not to be shaken off now, just like he did with Stephen earlier.
Look at the strength of Maxwell just to try and get up to his
Adam might
feet.
switch to an armbar here.
I think he's looking to go over the back for the armbar. We could see if there we go. That's very slick,
nice
but again, Stephen sees it coming. And one of the most important things to learn with your grappling, attack's fantastic, but often what you'll see is grapplers learning as we go into the last 10 seconds, guys working their defence so that they can know what happens if they go into deep water.
It's been a good second round for Adam Cook, couple submission attempts.
I think Callum Potter's question about Stephen Maxwell's grappling has been answered as well. His grappling has improved a lot.
Out of sight. Certainly at the moment it's been primarily defensive. There have been some attacking flurries there, but I would give the slight grappling edge at the moment to the Smiling Assassin as we go into the third round.
Yeah, let's go over and have a look at some of the highlights of this second round. Again, big thanks to Rockstar Energy Drinks and Tassie Instant Marquees.
You can see just while we're waiting for that replay to come, both of these fighters have really given everything in their cage. We were worried earlier. I asked David about whether or not going 3 rounds would make a difference. It looks very much like whoever he comes up against will have been through the same experience.
The last thing that I expect in this fight is to see these two striking-based fighters battle this fight out primarily on the ground.
Yeah, that's right. And you can see there Adam working the guillotine attempt, but Stephen, he's wise to it. He's going down to the ground and defending it nicely. Here you can see this is the moment where Stephen went from the back onto his back. Cook shrugged him off there and did a great job of maintaining side control here now, and then a great transition from the mount there.
Who thought you'd ever see a professional boxer going for takedowns?
Isn't it fantastic to see? It just really shows the respect that all athletes have got, or a lot of athletes have got, for mixed martial arts these days. We go into round 3, both fighters sucking in the big ones.
Here we go, guys. Third and final round.
I think we're going to see a flying kick here.
The winner goes on to take Dave Buck in the final.
I'm a little bit disappointed there was no kick. I thought Stephen had it in his eyes. He was charging up. Instead opens out with a left hook. Both fighters throwing kicks early on. It's something to be careful of when they do have these opposite stances. An inside leg kick can sometimes sneak a little bit where it shouldn't. Great left hook there again from Maxi.
Adam looking to find that range again.
And I think Adam's Stephen's looking for the takedowns, but what's happening is he's not changing levels. He's just dropping his head, and he's got to be very careful when he does that he doesn't get kneed or kicked.
Yeah, Adam's looking for that left head kick from that back leg. He's setting it up with leg kicks right now. He'll look to fake that.
So you think that as Maxwell drops down, the leg will come up?
If Adam can create the distance again, yeah, I think he's going to try to land that left head kick.
There's the big knee there from Cook.
He's got the first one he's thrown, and Maxwell just shrugs him off there. That left hook's going really well for Stephen Maxwell in this round. I've got to wonder though. Here comes a right. You often see fighters throwing off the lead hand.
Nice shot to the liver by Stephen Maxwell.
Yeah, the body shot's there from Maxwell.
And that's a sign of an experienced striker. A lot of MMA strikers, they'll only go for headshots. A really experienced boxer there is going to look for the body shots as well to open up the opportunities at the head.
Front kick your face.
Stephen sucking in the big ones right now.
Bit of the Anderson Silva up kick there.
Absolutely, Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida. It's coming back in vogue here as they lock up right in front of us on the cage. We can see both fighters there pummeling, working for the underhooks. We've got an over-under situation at the moment. Both fighters are equal in the grapple. However, Stephen's back is against the cage, giving him a slight disadvantage there. Adam Cook working for the ankle pick possibly there. Spinning out, Stephen looking for a trip. I think they'll separate and they'll go for the big ones again.
Tries to find distance again.
As we enter the last minute of the fight, I think that Adam's hands are dropping just a little bit, but he's using the range so well. He's using his legs so well, isn't he, gentlemen, to keep that distance and create some distance space there.
He's looking very comfortable in there. He doesn't look phased with anything Maxwell's throwing at him. The hands haven't really bothered him.
Oh, the spin kick, that was lazy there by Adam.
It was a little bit.
And Max is taking his back.
I don't know whether
you're getting tired.
In the dying moments of the third and final round, when you are starting to guess whether that's a good technique to throw.
I think often what happens when you're tired is it becomes about decision making. And when you're tired and you're not thinking as clearly about what you're doing, you just want to get to the end of the fight. As we see there, Stephen trying a sacrifice throw. It didn't come off.
30 seconds.
He's going to have to work hard here.
From here. If you looked at but Stephen's got half guard, blocking that.
Yeah. If he can clear that leg out, there is a half guard sweep there. He could look for an inverted armbar or sweep. He's going for a heel hook there. B-class rules, rotational leg lock's not allowed. If he straightens it up there for a straight foot lock with 10 seconds to go, that certainly is well within the realms of possibility here. I guess that Stephen wouldn't have a huge amount of experience with leg locks though. That's a straight leg lock there. Can Stephen ride it out? There we go. We'll go to the judges one more time.
Grant, you get up and have a chat to the fighters and thanks for calling this one with us.
Energy drinks and Tassie instant marquees.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see which way this one will go. I think it'll go the way of Adam Cook.
I agree, a very interesting fight to score. There's a lot of variables in this fight. It was fought on the feet, it was fought on the ground. There's a lot of transitioning and a lot of changing in top position. But I agree, I think Adam edged Stephen out.
Just having a look at some of the highlights of that third and final round. The knees of Adam Cook certainly played a big factor. He was keeping Stephen Maxwell in range.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the event of a
nice body shot left there by Stephen Maxwell. Straight to the liver.
Extra round, sudden victory if required.
But yeah, I think Adam predominantly controlled the positioning of this fight, and he may have the scoring of the strike was fairly even.
Yeah, at 19 years of age, he showed a lot of composure in centre ring.
He's been doing this his whole life. Combat is no. Adam Cook is not a stranger to combat.
Yeah, there's that spinning back kick that was just probably it's not a technique. He was lucky that Maxwell didn't take advantage of that. I suppose both guys at this stage of the fight are really starting to suck it in.
It was a grueling battle. All men in this tournament now are really going to have to get straight onto their recovery. Their corners are going to have to be doing a lot of work to recover their fighters for the final.
And it was a real contrast. The first semi-final was just a slugfest.
Absolutely. And this one more of a technical battle.
So we go over for our decision. Big thanks once again to Rockstar Energy Drink and Tassie Instant Marquees.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecard, big round of applause for both fighters for a fantastic contest. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. Judge number 1 had a 30-27. Judge number 2 had a 29-28. And judge number 3 had a 29-28 to face David Butt in the final. From red corner, the smiling assassin, Adam Cook.
The 19-year-old Adam Cook, and he'll face David Butt in the final. Commiserations to Steve Maxwell, but
a lot of respect shown there.
Big fight. And here we go, guys. Tail of the tape for our next bout. We've got fighting out of the red corner, Jacob Jelston, the trapdoor they call him, 23 years of age. 1 fight, 1 draw, taking on Adam Tricky, the submission magician. And Adam, a record.
And Adam Tricky, I was lucky enough to be here in attendance for his last fight. Did win by submission with a fantastic-looking rear naked choke there. Another one of the guys out of HTC down in Hobart. Priscus, Stewie there, the guys there training them. Go great.
Bout number 3, ladies and gentlemen, live from Launceston, Tasmania, Australia, on Go Fight Live. Our next contest proudly brought to you by Flying Colours Printing and Donati's Pizza. Introducing us from the blue corner, fighting out of Hobart, Tasmania, the submission magician, Adam Tricky.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital.
The alternate fight, so if one of these guys can't go through the final stage, but Adam Cook is the winner of this bout, will go through.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So both guys here, they're training with a really interesting position. They know that they're good for one fight. Just like the other 4 fighters we've already seen tonight, these boys all need to be prepared if they are called upon to really take a great opportunity to win that belt and that $3,000.
So Adam Tricky, very tall fighter, 284 centimetres. Both these boys are very tall compared to Dave Buck and Adam Cook.
And it could be a situation if these guys do go through, just like that last fight where we saw Adam Cook use his reach advantage, start to use those straight kicks and those jabs. The Tricky comes out, of course, to his Tricky. The man's a showman. He loves getting out here. He loves entertaining his crowd. He's here for a good time.
Look, I think sadly the alternates will probably have to squash their dreams of fighting for a lightweight title tonight. The blokes look so restless, unless one of them chooses to have a shower in between bouts and slip. But look, I sadly think it's going to be these guys are just going to have their one bout tonight. But look, they'll go out there and give it all now, knowing that they don't have to worry about what's going on. So we should see a good fight from it.
That's right, and I think that maybe a good performance here could put them first in line, potentially for a title shot down the line. So both of the guys really looking to give their all here and take the W tonight.
Absolutely. Grant, do you see, because of the results of this tournament so far, do you see a possible Drummond v Maxwell rematch coming up?
Wouldn't that be fantastic to see? The first fight was an absolute barn burner. I'd pay to watch that one again. You and I, of course, are fortunate enough we don't have to do that. The boys at Valor look after us so well. So I think I'd come in here and work and pay just to watch that match again.
I'd be in work.
And his opponent fighting out of Launceston, Tasmania, the trapdoor, Jacob Gelston.
There we go, guys. Jacob Gelston also fighting out of Launceston, Tasmania. So again, a really well put together card from the boys down here at Valor number 8.
The trapdoor.
Fighting out of Abaddon's Legion here, one of the things that the boys on Valor like to do, they like to get fighters from as many different gyms as they can to create opportunities and, of course, to give the crowd what they want to see, which is fighters they know. A small town like Launceston, it's great to see everybody knows everyone. You've got a real personal stake in this. As we see Jacob Gelston come out now, ready for his alternate bout.
Obviously, Jacob's got a very extensive Muay Thai background. He's fought on big Muay Thai shows down here before, so the lights aren't going to bother him as much as he has got the MMA experience. He's been used to the big show.
No, that's absolutely right. And interestingly enough, in the research we've done, he has told us he's a former lawn bowls champion. I have no idea what that's got to do with mixed martial arts, but let's see if he can maybe get his end away tonight or something like that.
All skills count.
That's right.
You just got to wonder whether some of the guys, when we ask them to give us a bit of their background, whether they wind us up a little bit. A lot of them say, you know, their favourite hobbies are long walks on the beach and all those sorts of things. So they just try to wind it up a little bit.
Look, I can't wait to see Bam Bam Chapman come out later. Apparently he's quite an accomplished air guitarist. I look forward to seeing those skills.
The only thing that worries me about the possibility of the lawn bowls champion, he has been suckling at the cheap beer. How's that going to affect his cardio?
That's right. And down here in Tassie, you can pick up the pints. Where I'm from in New South Wales, it's all about the schooners. Here, down here, it's a lot easier to get on it. But I'm sure these guys getting ready for the fight, maybe they'll have a few tonight after the Duke.
That's it.
I'll tell you one thing they will be doing, boys. They'll be going out for a pizza a little bit later on after this one. Big thanks to Donati's Pizza Bar getting behind this one.
Absolutely. And then obviously the boys will be kicking on.
They feed us as we put the cage together each and every show, and I've got to say, that's one of the big highlights of the tour, is coming down and having those pizzas about 1 o'clock every Saturday afternoon.
Very well put together, yeah. Jacob Gelston looks very fit.
I'd like to think I looked like that once upon a time.
Bout number 3 of the inning, proudly brought to you by Donati's Pizza and Flying Colours Printing. When the action begins, ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge is Mr. John Sharp. 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Priscus Foganolo from the Hybrid Training Centre. Official weight, 69.9 kilograms. Standing 6 feet 1 inches tall. This man is a BJJ fighter, fighting out of Hobart, Tasmania. 2 fights for 1 win. Tonight we're in the black shorts with a blue trim. The submission magician, Adam Tricky. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Zach Robinson from Aberdeen's Legion Muay Thai. This man has a discipline in Muay Thai fighting. Official weight, 70.4 kilograms, standing 6 feet tall. Tonight we're in the white shorts with a black trim. 2 fights for 1 win. Fighting out of Launceston, Tasmania, the trapdoor, Jacob Gelston. Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
Both fighters really well put together.
Absolutely, and I think when you look at Tricky, every time he steps into the Bulk Nutrients cage here, he's just got that intensity from the moment his feet hit the canvas.
Absolutely. He's got that long reach, will not only help him with the striking, but also locking in some different sort of chokes if that's the avenue he's going to choose.
Absolutely, and he does have an extensive BJJ background, training down there at De La Riva Jiu-Jitsu. Let's see if that comes to play here in this match against a very, very accomplished striker in Jacob Gelston.
Straight to it.
Opening out, we've got another southpaw against orthodox fighter here.
And so for viewers at home watching this on Go Fight Live, Gelston fighting out with the white trunks.
And Tricky coming out very fast out of the gates here. I don't think he wants to spend too long on the ground here, on his feet here.
Catches the kick.
Ooh, good hands.
Tricky with a lot of hand movement. Sometimes that can be a hindrance when trying to counter. Your hands are in too much motion. Can get clipped. Ooh,
again, another one there. A kick to the lead leg there on the outside. Both fighters settling into their rhythm here early in the first round of this fight. Again, we go to the outside leg. Tricky catches it and goes down to the ground, and this is not where a Muay Thai fighter wants to be.
He starts with initial barrage. Now he's going to try and settle down and try and play what in. There, he's looking for to set up a dash choke, possibly with that nice long arm.
Does look that way, shooting for the underhook there.
There it is.
You can see Gelston working his half guard there.
He has grabbed the
not a big
bicep.
defense.
He's going to drop to his right shoulder here and try and get the tap.
And if he can sprawl out on this, it could be a very short night.
He should try and keep half guard with this. And
there we go, it's over.
It's all over.
Oh,
great pick there from the Rockstar.
Yeah, he called that perfectly, Kellen. Grant, you head up and have a chat to our winner.
Will do. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, boys.
And not a second more. Beautiful submission there. There's those long arms that come into play when you want to stick in those anacondas, dash chokes. Those long bony arms really make it easy.
Very colourful character.
And the after party, Hotel
Adam Tricky,
Hill.
but I tell you what, Kellen, you called it perfectly, and it was right in front of us as well. But a very happy fighter there, and mate, I tell you what, you'd hate to see either of the guys go out of the final, but you'd love to see him go in.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone you're going to have to keep your eye on in this lightweight range down in Valor. It was beautiful how he initially went to the deck, went for that initial burst of ground and pound, seeing that he wasn't going to get a finish, composed, went for the submission.
Yeah, so some good hands from Gelston to open up the fight, but Tricky didn't seem phased, but as you called it, Kellen, he was a little bit loose with his hands, Tricky.
Beautiful catch, that's what's done it in the end. He went for the initial catch before, didn't quite get it. Got it this time.
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end for Jacob Gelston. I tell you what, mate, this is we've had a 4-man eliminator. Looking at the quality of the guys that got on the card tonight, maybe next year an 8-man eliminator.
Oh, don't do that to us. I tell you what, if that's going to be the case, I'll be quite happy to sit down here calling the fights with you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Sharp puts a stop to this contest 1 minute and 15 seconds into the first round. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by dash choke by tap out, the submission magician, Adam Tricky.
Well, he lived up to his name, Kellen, the submission magician. Here we go, guys, about 5 minutes. The pretty boy Pete Smith, C-class fight, 3 different rounds, taking on Matt Hurd, the headhunter.
Pretty boy Pete Smith here, one of the right Valor judo fighters. I haven't seen too much of him. Matt Hurd, again, another relatively experienced fighter over to Perry.
Bout number 4 of the evening, live from the Bulk Nutrients Cage, number 8 2-year anniversary show on Go Fight Live. Our next contest, ladies and gentlemen, proudly brought to you by V Energy Drinks and Bangarang Body Art in Burnie. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania, undefeated, the headhunter, Matt Hurd.
Here we go, guys. The headhunter, Matt Hurd. Stepping up, he weight now, 77 kilo weight division.
Quick, see if they can get a second win on the board this evening. Another one come your way, Jeb. What can you tell us about the headhunter?
Matt Hurd has a perfect composure and perfect mentality for such a rookie fighter. Matt Hurd really gives zero down. He just wants to come out here and scrap. That's all he wants to do. If he had to walk himself out of the cage and get in here by himself and water himself, he would, you know. And he has very good boxing and very heavy hands. A very dangerous opponent, just like a very dangerous fighter, just like his opponent.
It's interesting on his fighter's bio. He only started training last 9 months ago.
Yeah, Matt's a natural. Matt's always had the fight in him. He's always been a competitive guy, and he's always had a tough mentality. And I think the cage is a place where he should have been a long time ago.
Let's see how he goes this evening. 9 months experience here for Matt the headhunter Hurd. Just getting a last minute check down there from John Sharp. About to step into the cage and see what happens this evening.
This one again, 3 rounds. B-class rules.
And the B-class rules really do give the opportunity for fighters to explore all of their skills there, knowing that they can open up a little bit and they're not at the risk of those rotational leg locks to elbows. Things that could potentially be career-ended before things have even really gotten off the ground.
Matt Hurd fighting at a Burnie here in northern Tasmania.
And his opponent, fighting out of Brisbane, Queensland, and representing Millwood Jiu-Jitsu. Please welcome the pretty boy, Pete Smith.
And another Queensland boy trained by Dan Edson, Hyatt, all the way down from Queensland. Again, big thanks to Phil McNally and Dan Hyatt. They've done a really good job matchmaking, bringing in some good fighters from interstate.
That's right, and giving all the fighters a real opportunity to show their wares. And getting here, you don't see very many mismatches at all here in Valor. You get guys in here, doesn't matter much, these guys are relatively inexperienced. It's a good opportunity for them to develop their game and hopefully put in a fantastic show for all of them here at the Albert Hall and also around the world watching.
He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat or the mic. Feels so unlike everybody else, alone in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know
got a real presence in the social media there. One of the most followed organisations in Australia, I believe they're coming second at the moment. Really a testament to the hard work they're doing. The GoPro, that's an innovation there, they used a few shows ago, and now you can see next up going worldwide here with the internet streaming.
Hit him up on Facebook and tell all time, or get on the YouTube as well, there's plenty of highlights on there as well. Short to be purchased, so go for the like, you can go back and watch
And you can see there in Pete Smith's corner, he's got Pat Ranker there, about to make his debut in Valor later this evening. Very experienced fighter. Christina Tatnell there also, possibly on the bigger and better stage sooner.
Dan Hyatt again, just looking very relaxed, very composed.
I think what a lot of fans here would like to see is the man who goes by the name of Eddie now get back in there occasionally. He announced his retirement not too long ago. I just wonder how long he's going to stay out.
One thing I noticed with Dan, some of the highlights before Blockhead back in 2012, when you never seen him on our body. Now he's covered it, so we know what he's been doing for the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
Now the thing about the Southpaw, Big Boy Smith, is he's an athlete. He has really attributes that make him very dangerous, very lightning speed. He's very explosive and
Bout
fast.
number 4 of the evening, proudly brought to you by V Energy Drinks and Bangaranga Body Art in Burnie. 3 by 3 minute rounds in the welterweight division. When the action begins, our referee in charge is the Bull, Mr. Peter Hickmott. Firstly, to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Oscar Harding from the Shen Academy. This man has a discipline in submission kickboxing. Official weight, 76.9 kilograms, standing 6 feet tall. Tonight we're in the black and red Venom fight shorts. Undefeated, 1 fight for 1 win. Fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania. Please welcome to the Bulk Nutrients Cage, the headhunter, Mo opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by the bad guy, Dan Ensign Hyatt from Ryan Valtudo. Official weight, 77.36 kilograms, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. This man has a discipline in Melwood Jiu-Jitsu. Tonight we're in the black and white shorts with the red trim, fighting out of Brisbane, Queensland, with a professional fight record of 2 fights for 1 win. Please welcome Pete Pretty Boy Smith. Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
Pete Smith, another southpaw here in centering. Interesting, Matt Hurd. They call him the headhunter, but he's known for his body shots. Jebediah, what's the story going on there?
Oh, my opinion is I think the headhunter might be a bit of a decoy. That's what I think. Getting people to put their hands up high.
Look up and then go downstairs.
Yeah. This is my fight. I believe it's the least likely fight to go to distance tonight. These two are going to want to stand and bang. I don't think this fight's going to go to the ground.
Not by choice anyway.
Big shout out to our sponsors behind this one, V Energy Drink and Bangarang Body Art up there in Burnie.
Pretty Boy opening his account tonight with a big low leg kick there. Going upstairs as well.
Pete has a very fast left high kick and a very fast left straight punch as well.
Early on, a lot of bouncing around, a lot of kicks. It's looking somewhat like a Taekwondo match.
Guys, coming out of the Ride Vale Judo, what sort of...
Oh, that's done. That is all over. He's picked him as he's dropped, got him clean in the head, and Pretty Boy takes it there. Headhunter, he's going to have to hunt for someone's head there because his might have just been attacked.
It looked like Matt Hurd slipped as he was about to throw a technique and then got caught flush.
I'll tell you one thing, Pete should put the rest of this division on standby. If Pete lands that kick on anybody or his left punch at anybody, they'll go to sleep.
All Graham was just saying was, let's have a look at it. Yeah, you can just see it there that Matt Hurd slipped as he was about to come in and throw a technique.
That's unfortunate, but you know, that's a fight game.
And got caught flush.
Yeah, he got caught.
You know, and look, respect to Pete Smith for not jumping on him as well. He realised as soon as he threw that kick that Matt Hurd was out.
Get it back, get the trick, jump the track, bitch, I want my money back. Time and time again, while I'm sipping on this gin.
Guys, we just got to say too, just quickly, the ladies' bout that was matched up tonight, Zoe Sherwis and Tammy Taylor. Unfortunately, Tammy Taylor didn't pass the medical test, so that fight's been called off tonight.
Oh, that is really unfortunate. Tammy Taylor, if she had a fought tonight, probably had the very best technical boxing on this card. She's a multiple time Australian champion, and hopefully we'll be able to see her back here another day.
I'm sure we'll see it on the next Valor card. And a good ovation there too for Matt Hurd as he's leaving the ring.
That's the fight game, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks very much, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, the ball. Peter Hickman puts a stop to this contest. 31 seconds into the first round. Your winner by knockout, Pete Pretty Boy Smith.
Knockout, big thanks to V Energy Drink.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, in Launceston, Tasmania, Australia, from the iconic Albert Hall. Our next contest proudly brought to you by All On Electrical and Heating and Transmo. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Launceston, please welcome Houdini, Jamie Watterson.
Getting out of any submission attempts.
Very much so, and it's because he can pull something out of nowhere as well.
The boys from Kazushi MMA, often they've got a judo background, but they do have a variety of coaches down there. So what you often see is guys with a takedown bias, but plenty of versatility there. They can go wherever it needs to go.
And again, another match at around the 70 kilos. So, you know, that's 4 fights we've seen on here tonight. I threw it out a little bit earlier. Maybe we can see an 8-man eliminator at 70 kilos down the track there.
We would love that. We would absolutely love that.
And it's great to see over the past 2 years the depth in all divisions, but especially in this lightweight division, the depth that Valor's generated, giving plenty of guys opportunity. as we can see, both of these guys up and comers looking for their first victory this evening. Plenty more coming through to fill those ranks.
And the main thing here is that with Jamie Watterson, he is looking for his first win, so he is hungry. He has a judo black belt as a coach. He has recently acquired a boxing coach as well. So we'll be looking to use that reach to keep Sam Chapman away.
When you're matchmaking, Dan, what sort of things are you looking for in a fighter in a gym?
I'm always looking for experience first. We want good quality fights, fights that are going to build them as individuals as well as fighters, because the more we build them, the better quality of fights, the more depth we have within the promotion. This is a fantastic fight despite their lack of experience and their losing records.
One of the great things that Valor does, you often see with some of the promotions, if fighters get a couple of losses early on in their career, they sort of slide out the back door there, but always willing to give these guys an opportunity, and a fair opportunity, with someone of a similar experience level.
Always.
And his opponent fighting out of Prospect, Launceston, Tasmania, making his long-awaited return to the Bogdudrians Valor cage. Please welcome Sam Bam Bam Chapman.
And the heavy-handed Bam Bam Sam Chapman. And as you said a little bit earlier on tonight, Grant, high school air guitar champion, so... And I tell you what, he's coming out to some bit of music I don't mind as well.
And he also rarely wears a shirt in nightclubs, so hopefully he can get the victory tonight so he can get out there, cut a rug on the D floor, get some air guitar going with no shirt on, flexing there. You can see with Bam Bam, he's an absolute showman. He loves nothing more than putting on a show for the fans here.
And look, that's what it's all about as well. Sure, you've got to back it up in centering, but you want a little bit of showmanship in centering. You look at the UFC and there's trash talk and there's all that sort of thing. Fights can be personal, but at the same time you can have really good mates in there as well. But it's about turning it on for the crowd.
Yes, Sam is an exceptional athlete. He is an athlete. I used to coach Sam. I've sparred many rounds with him. I can attest to the fact that he hits hard. The reason why his name is Bam Bam is because when he hits you, it goes bam.
He's a big unit at 70 kilos too.
Very much so. This is his first fight at 70 kilos. He has fought at 84 kilos before and then 77. This is his lightweight debut.
Now Dan, I noticed there Alicia, one of our lovely ring girls, had a big grin on her face as she led Bam Bam out there. Any reason you think that might be?
They're a couple. They're a couple. They train together, they live together, they eat together. They both into fitness heavily and they both motivate each other.
And you can see on Sam's Facebook profile, they are really living that life, being as fit as they can, looking to really support each other and go through it. Just goes to show, very family oriented, a lot of these fighters. They're not just these thugs out on the streets. They've got great home lives, very supportive partners, and they're all getting involved in the MMA industry.
It's what we were saying before, Grant, that it's not a stereotype of these guys, the thugs out there anymore. These guys are professional athletes that train, up to 6 hours a day, 6 days a week or longer. They eat clean, they don't drink, they don't party. It's a misnomer that these guys are out there to create havoc on the streets. They're not.
Yes, I personally believe we're going to see a much improved Sam Chapman. Just like you said, it does take discipline and commitment.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, live from Valor 8D Bogdudrians Cage, Launceston, Tasmania, on Go Fight Live. 3x3 minute rounds in the lightweight division. Proudly brought to you by All On Electrics and Heating and Transmo. When the action begins, our referee in charge is Mr. John Sharp. Firstly, to my left, fighting under the blue corner, trained by Heath Howard from Kazushi MMA. This man is a freestyle fighter. Official weight 69.9 kilograms, standing 6 feet 1.5 inches tall. Fighting out of Launceston, he has had 2 fights. Please welcome Jamie Houdini Watterson. And his opponent to my right, fighting under the red corner, trained by Steve Wallace from Launceston Boxing and MMA Club. This man is an MMA fighter. Official weight 70.36 kilograms, standing 6 feet tall. Tonight wearing the black shorts with a white and a red trim. He has had 2 professional fights, fighting out of Prospect, Launceston, Tasmania. Please welcome Sam Bam Bam Chapman. Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
And a very popular Bam Bam Sam Chapman there, guys. Got a good following.
Now, Sam's got a very large frame. As Dan said earlier, the first time he's come down to lightweight here. How do you think he's going to go with this cut?
I've never seen Sam so focused. Like I said, I was a trainer of his. He's focused, he's motivated, and I believe he's not going to have any problems here.
So both boys looking for their first win here tonight. We're going to say big thanks to the sponsors behind this one, All On Electrical and Heating and Transmo.
seconds out, round one.
As referee John Sharp gets him underway in the first one, Bam Bam comes out throwing what could best be described as Bam Bams. A big overhand right, he's looking for a home for it early on. He's got Houdini ducking and weaving.
Watterson doesn't want to be there anymore. He needs to get off that cage, he needs to get that foot moving.
Great little single leg there from Sam C. Sliding through from the half guard there. Can he get the pass?
So about Waterson open up those big hands and it just fired Bam Bam up straight away.
That's it, and often these guys who do come down a weight class, they've got that natural size. Makes a real big advantage. You can see there he is in the half guard, but he's got him flattened out. Passing through to the mount with fairly ease there.
Watterson's main objective here, should he control the push, he's got the sweep.
Great little reversal there from Watterson. Chapman just not quite heavy enough on the hips there as he kicks away and steps back up to get on their feet. Again, looking for that right hand.
Right above us in the commentary position. The hands are Bam Bam. But I tell you what, Waterson's got a good jaw on him because he's worn quite a few.
He has got a good jaw on him, but I'd like to see him get his hands up just a little bit more so as many don't quite get through. There they go. They're up now.
Very much so. More composure is required. He needs to take that centre and keep off that cage where Bam Bam is strong.
And oftentimes you do hear about those octagon jitters as Bam Bam's dropped his head into a guillotine choke here. It's arm in. He's pulling guard. I don't know how deep that is. It looks like it could be close there.
Sam needs to get that shrug going, try and get that leverage.
And Bam Bam doing everything he can to stay up on his feet, didn't want to get taken down.
Now what Bam Bam, he's got it.
And it's over. That's it. Jamie Watterson will be his first victory in Valor.
I'll tell you what, guys, with the big hands that we saw of Bam Bam, we were just saying that Watterson's got a good jaw on him, Ken, and I'll tell you what, but when he sunk that choke in, nice and tight.
Yes, this was very typical of our Sam Chapman fight. Come out nice and aggressive, but his submission defence is lacking. As said previously, Watterson's submission offence was much better, and that was the case.
You know, with no disrespect to Jamie Watterson, you know, you look at some of the fighters and Bam Bam just so well put together. Jamie doesn't look like a fighter, but you never underestimate anyone.
Yes, not only does he not look like a fighter, he doesn't even look like an athlete. You know, in this sport, it takes all comers.
Look, absolutely big, sensational big win there to Jamie Watterson. Commiseration, mate, but no doubt you'll get these boys back on again.
No doubt, I'll have Sam back and Jamie as well.
And a big thanks to Transmo and All On Electrical and Heating getting behind this one. Dan, the sponsors do a great job getting behind these fights.
Without sponsors, Valor does not exist. We're always looking for new sponsors. The sponsors we have now have supported Valor and Mixed Martial Arts in Tasmania for a long time, and we're very, very appreciative of what they've done for us.
Yeah, any sponsors want to jump on board, hit you up on Facebook or Twitter, and I'm sure you'll happily hook them up on the next show.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Sharp puts a stop to this contest, 1 minute and 29 seconds into the first round. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, by arm in guillotine choke, Yai tap out, Jamie Houdini Watterson.
Big win to Houdini. Commiserations of Bam Bam. Points there. Tail of the tape coming up next. We've got Bade and Mandich taking on Jake Fleming. Another B-class 3-minute rounds. Both boys weighing in around 70 kilos. Both boys having their second fight here tonight.
Yeah, Baden coming out of Maromba South, BJJ. They've got a great setup down there with Adam Newton and Jerry Young doing a lot of the coaching. Very strong grappling base there. He's a very enthusiastic grappler. In fact, his victory was by choke.
Our next contest, Valor 8, live from the Bulk Nutrients cage and the iconic Albert Hall, Launceston, Tasmania. Our next contest proudly brought to you by the Mets Cafe and Bar, Fit Freak Supplements Nutrition, and Loews Automotives. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Launceston, Kazushi MMA, fabulous Jake Fleming.
Here comes our fighter, Jake Fleming. Very interesting to read. Jake actually has a hearing disability. He has a slight hearing problem. He does cause a little issue in the cage, but yet still gets in there and gets the job done. Doesn't sit around. It's very inspirational to see.
Absolutely, and you've got to wonder there, it must make, we keep saying that it's such a team sport, even though there's only one guy in there, must make things very difficult for the coaching staff. They're obviously down there at Kazushi. They're really well refined with how they communicate with the fighter in the cage.
Absolutely, you want to have things really on point before entering the cage. Obviously, transferring information during the round is going to be near impossible. So you've got to have your game plan really thought out before you enter the cage arena.
coming off a recent loss on Valor 6 to Alex Hart, so he's looking forward to getting back getting a win on the board.
Yeah, it's interesting with the Kazushi boys, even though there is a judo base, very diverse skill set. You often get fighters coming in who do have past experience in other areas. Jake's quite an enthusiast of standing and banging there. He fancies himself a bit of a striker there. Let's see how it goes if the fight does wind up on the ground this morning.
I think you've got to like though, just a positive attitude on life. He was born hearing impaired and he's still currently hearing impaired, so he's never giving up hope. So, anything's possible nowadays, so it's great to see that he's got a positive spirit.
Once again, he's armed with those nice, long, lanky limbs.
And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Maromba South. Please welcome the undefeated Baden Fearless Mandich.
So Baden Mandich, trained by Tasmania's first ever BJJ black belt, Adam Newton.
And as we said, he's very enthusiastic on the ground. He did in fact choke his last opponent, Mark Lewitt, unconscious here in this Valor cage.
170 centimetres tall, a little bit of a more compact fighter. So we'll see how that plays into the game. I'll just suggest that he doesn't want to engage in a striking battle unless he wants to get very Mike Tyson, Bob and weave with it. He might want to get this down to the ground and do another one of those sleeping tricks.
Yeah, look, I think what we're going to be looking for is a pretty quick takedown today. Wouldn't be surprised if he's waiting for one of those kicks, picks it up and puts it down so that we wind up passing the guard, going to mount, but you never know what's going to happen. Obviously, as a fighter loses the fight in a certain way, they go back to the drawing board, they know they've got their strengths, they know they've got their weaknesses, they know what they can work on.
He runs his own boot camp as well, boot camp program called To Be Motivated, so if you're down here in Tasmania looking to get fit, you can hit up Baden Mandich down there in Hobart. I'm sure he'll put you through the paces.
And we can see Adam Newton and Jerry Young looking resplendent in the corner there with the lovely hat and the fantastic mutton chops.
He is
rocking it. Something in common there, Grant.
Oh, look, Jerry and I go back years, possibly even 2 years. As long as Valor's been around, Jerry's been around.
The only thing that can make that hat better is being black and of leather base.
I like that.
Ah, look out.
Perhaps he should have thrown a poll out to his Facebook followers on Grant Bradshaw MMA MC.
Get around him, guys, get around him.
And of course the rock star, what you've got, ladies and gentlemen, Callan Potter.
Baden Mandish's only win is over a stablemate of Jake Fleming. Can Jake Fleming get the retribution for Kazushi MMA this evening?
Or will Baden know what to expect here? You can see there that Maromba South, the first banner to come out tonight. AGIJ, Australian Girls in Gi, one of the fantastic initiatives, I believe. Callan, some of the gyms you're around have got some involvement with the AGIG. A few girls in any of the gyms that you work in Victoria?
Absolutely, ton of them, obviously.
Bout number 6, Valor, a 2-year anniversary show live from the Mock Nutrients cage. 3x300 rounds in the lightweight division. Proudly brought to you by the Mets Bar and Cafe, Fit Freak Supplements and Nutrition, and Loews Automotive. When the action begins, ladies and gentlemen, our referee in charge is the Bull, Mr. Peter Hickmont. Firstly, to my left, fighting under the blue corner, trained by Heath Howard from Kazushi MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a freestyle fighter. Official weight, 69.66 kilograms. Standing 5 feet 8.5 inches tall. Tonight we're in the all-blue fight shorts. Fighting out of Launceston, he has had one fight. Please welcome fabulous Jake Fleming! And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Adam Newton from Maromba South BJJ. Official weight, 69.29 kilograms. Standing 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. This man, ladies and gentlemen, is a BJJ fighter. Undefeated, one fight for one win. Tonight we're in the all-black Hayabusa fight shorts. Fighting out of Hobart, please welcome Baden Fearless Mandich! Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
The Brazilian stomps, as they're known. He looks very fired up, Baden.
I think back in the early UFCs, Marco Huas throwing a few of those.
Don't you love Marco?
Absolutely.
Chopping down Paul Valens.
The old polar bear.
Look out.
A bit old school. Let's see how we go.
So here we go, 3 rounds, B-class rule. Big thanks to the Mets Cafe and Bar, Fit Freak Supplements and Nutrition, and Loews Automotive getting behind this one. Out of the blue corner.
Seconds out, Ramon.
Baden Mandich and straight into it.
Bit of confusion with your hand, the glove touch there.
Baden looking for the glove touch and Fleming looking for the punch. He winds up on top there with a bit of an enthusiastic Superman effort. Baden, we've said initially, is the ground exponent, but he's on his back early on. He's looking to roll underneath for an anaconda.
Oh, now he's got top position. Pushes off the cage beautifully.
And Fleming back on his feet.
There's that initial burst that always comes at the start of a B-class match, and they kick each other.
Hey! The Can-Can's here tonight in Launceston.
Guillotine.
Down again. Baden's got another arming guillotine right in front of us.
He needs to do a sit-up with it instead of trying to pull it back, but he escapes very nicely.
That's right. When the arm's in there, what needs to happen, as Callan was saying, you want to sit up on that guillotine.
Some beautiful scrambles in this match so far. These boys are going to be absolutely knackered when they stand back up.
It's great to see Jake looking to involve himself on the ground here. He's not afraid to be here.
He might be setting up Kimura from this position. He's trapped one arm, and he's going to go to that arm he's got left, and I reckon he's going to go for a Kimura. Oh, he's going to go of it.
You picked the Dast choke earlier, Rockstar. Let's see how we go now. They move to north-south.
Move back to it.
I'll tell you what, guys, one thing I've noticed down here, the 70-kilo weight division in Tasmania is absolutely stacked with talent.
Absolutely.
I think they could almost have a 16-man tournament.
He's now transitioning to the back and looking to put the choke on. He needs to turn into that choke if he wants to survive. And
there we go, that's it. Finishes without the hooks there. We predicted a grappling finish, and it happened in pretty quick time there with the Baden Mandage.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a big win there to Baden Mandage, and a very popular win as well. He's sitting up on top of the cage. We've got people jumping out of their seats. Grant Bradshaw going to head up into centre ring and interview the fighters. But
great show of sportsmanship there, guys. That's what this is all about.
Mate, that was about 2 minutes of just non-stop. That was fast.
Absolutely. Scramble, dominating top position. Eventually getting in the submission he wanted.
So still undefeated, Baden Mandage. Commiserations to Jake Fleming, but no doubt we'll see him back on Valor.
Now 2-0 over the Kasushi MMA gym. Who's going to be their saviour?
But I tell you what, he's put up an impressive performance, and he's absolutely pumped his Baden Mandage. Again, big thanks to the Mets Cafe and Bar, Fit Freak Supplements and Nutrition, and Loewy's Automotive.
Beautiful transition to the back. Didn't worry about the hooks, just went straight after that choke.
Yeah, and had it locked in nice and tight.
Great submission awareness there by Baden. Constantly attacking.
And that's his 2 wins have been by submission. Didn't choke this opponent unconscious, obviously.
Absolutely.
With Fleming tapping out, which is a wise thing to do, but there you go, big win there to Baden Mandage. Let's go over for the official decision.
Fighters to center cage, please. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Peter Hitmon puts a stop to this contest. 1 minute and 18 seconds into the first round. By rear naked choke, your winner by tap out and still undefeated, Baden Fearless Mandage.
All right, guys, here we go. About 7 in the evening, the tail of the tape. Ryan Gray, ravishing Ryan Gray, 21 years of age. 4 wins, undefeated, taking on Josh Cast, the Kryptonite, the man from Melbourne. 1 win, 2 draws. Looking forward to this one, boys.
Just have a look at Cast, as we were saying earlier, he's born to fight.
Callan's got some big raps on this young Josh Cast, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings tonight.
Absolutely. Very keen to have a quick look at this Ryan Gray as well. He's got disguised with flashy kicks, jumping knees, loves to throw low percentage strikes. And you can't falter a fighter like that, you know what I mean? Go against the odds, push against the grain, throw caution to the wind.
Get that element of surprise in there.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bout number 7 of the evening. Valor 8, 2-year anniversary. Live from Launceston, Tasmania, Australia. And on Go Fight Live around the world. Our next contest is in the featherweight division. Proudly brought to you by Maximus Sports Drink of Kings and Gods Tattoos. Anytime Fitness in Launceston. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, via way of Christchurch, New Zealand. And tonight representing Launceston, please welcome Kryptonite, Josh Cast.
Well, I'm a lover, not a fighter. 5 kilos of action-packed Newcastle. 1 win, 2 draws. Callum, you've got big reps on this boy.
Absolutely, born to do the business. This is also kicking off our A-class bouts of the evening, which mean all the beautiful things like the elbows and the rotational leg locks are all coming into play.
So 3 5-minute rounds, so really stepping up. We've had a bit of a break, unfortunately. One of the punters was a little bit ill, so we had to have a bit of a break, but back into it, and no one's left the house here tonight.
They're ready for the whole long night, waiting to see the culmination of this one-night tournament. And have a look at Josh.
Look at that, he can't wait to get in there, ladies and gentlemen. One thing that'll be interesting to see is with that pause that we did have, that intervention that was slightly longer than intended, these guys would have known roughly when they were coming on to fight. They would have been ready, they would have been warmed up, all focused for this moment. Now that it's been put back, both fighters are in the same position, but let's wait and see just how it affects the two boys coming out here to go.
He has every chance of getting into a fight on the way to the cage before his actual bout. He is pumped up, he is ready to go.
I hope he walks around the other way in that case.
Give us the clip as he goes past. Got to say a big shout out to the sponsors getting behind this one. Maximus Sports Drink, Anytime Fitness in Launceston, and of Kings and Gods Tattoos.
And he's got it all covered as well. Born in Christchurch, trains in Melbourne, representing Launceston. If he doesn't have the biggest crowd here, he's in the wrong sport.
International man of mystery here tonight, Josh Kryptonite Cast. Another thing, just having a look at the tail, it's 10 years age difference. Cast is 10 years the senior of Gray. We haven't seen a lot of Gray, but a lot of the blokes with considerable success tonight are around about that 19, 20, 21 years of age. Something that's fairly new to the sport now. Kids who have grown up doing mixed martial arts are really coming into their straps. No longer do you have to be 27, 28, 29 years of age to have that experience.
I tell you what's going to be interesting. Ryan Gray, tail of the tape, 176 centimetres against Josh Cast, 163. So a good 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches high in reach advantage. So it'll be interesting to see how Gray uses that.
I tell you what, but Josh Cast hasn't fought someone shorter than him since that time Gary Coleman cut him off. I tell you what, he'll be fighting taller blokes all his life. It does not faze him whatsoever.
There he is as he makes his way around that Bob Nutrients cage there, Josh Kryptonite Cast.
And his opponent, fighting out of Perth, Western Australia, via way of Wales, United Kingdom. Please welcome the undefeated phenom, ravishing Ryan, 50 Shades of Grey.
He makes them up as he goes, and I tell you what, every now and then he pulls out a good one, and that was a good one.
And you know what? 50 Shades of Grey, that just might stick.
Oh, get it on him. No more ravishing.
Well, the question is, though, Perry Cale has obviously read the book.
I would say so.
Oh, look at that man has got 50 Shades of Grey. He probably wrote half of it.
And I tell you what, an entertaining Ryan Gray all the way over from Perth. As you said, originally out of Wales in the United Kingdom. But again, Phil McNally and Dan Hyatt. Melbourne versus Perth here in Tasmania. You know,
and when you look at his record, of the 4 fights, 3 of them that I confirm are up in Eternal in Queensland. So Wales, by way of Perth, fighting from Queensland. Here we are in Tasmania today.
We've just about ticked every box on the ground. Let me tell you, if Ryan gets a biscuit tonight, we'll have to chuck about 6 pints in the microwave to warm it up for him, just so he can have a celebration drink.
He's a black belt in Taekwondo as well, so obviously we're going to be expecting some fairly flashy kicks. But it's a 5 to 6 inch height advantage going his way as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. And Callum, you said a little bit earlier on, your tip for fight of the night.
I'm backing this in. I'm backing this in. If he can do some flying knees and spinning kicks, and Josh could go full crazy midget on us, I reckon we've just got the fight of the night ready to go.
Here we are. Josh is warming up with those kicks in the ring already. Not quite sure that they'll reach the chin, but we'll see what we can do.
You know, interesting that Ryan Gray's turned his hand to MMA. He's a former rugby player. Got into too many blues playing rugby, so I thought I might as well do it and make some money and do it for a living. You don't have to get suspended.
Sounds about right. I'd have to say that besides MMA, rugby league, rugby union, they are the toughest sports going around.
Absolutely. Both boys are Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belts. They've both got experience on the deck, but I've got a feeling this one's going to stay up on its feet, just get a little bit nasty.
A little bit of Rocky Balboa about Josh Cast. He's a butcher by trade. He practices striking.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bout number 7 of the evening. 3 by 5 minute rounds. A-class in the featherweight division. Proudly brought to you by Maximus Sports Drinks, Anytime Fitness in Launceston, and of Kings and Gods Tattoos. our referee in charge, Mr. John Sharp. Firstly, to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Luke O'Donnell from Mana MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has a discipline in karate and jiu-jitsu. Tonight we're in the all-black fight shorts. Born in Christchurch, New Zealand, and tonight representing Launceston. He has had 3 fights for 1 win, 1 by way of submission. Please welcome Kryptonite Josh Carr. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Ben Vickers from the MMA Clinic. This man is a freestyle fighter. Official weight, 66.1 kilograms, standing 5 feet 8.5 inches tall. Tonight we're in the white shorts with a red trim. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is undefeated. 4 fights, 4 wins, 2 by way of submission and 1 by way of knockout. Formerly from Wales, United Kingdom, via way of Perth, Western Australia. Please welcome Ravishing Ryan Gray. Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
Uncomfortable in this cage, let me tell you.
Look, I don't think either of these blokes are here to scratch out a decision by laying and praying.
So here we go, height and reach advantage going away of Ryan Gray. And as he was, as Perry was doing introduction, I just had a look around at some of the corporate tables, and everyone was smiling at just the interaction that Ryan Gray had. And it's great to see that sort of thing. You don't just want a fighter to get in there and look dour. So.
Absolutely, in this day and age, promotion is such a big part of what the fighters do, and getting their names out there and really being entertaining. As Josh Carr there opens up with a big right kick that's missed. He's tied in a guillotine, another army in guillotine right in front of us.
There's a not straight angles from Ryan Gray then.
He's really cranking it on.
Josh has got his head tucked in. He's trying to get that chin into the ribs. He's got
there he is in the guard again, and we'll see what we'll see here from Gray is he should sit up and over that head to put the pressure on for an army in guillotine. Carr's working well to pry that elbow off.
I think
that looks pretty deep.
I think John Sharp's thinking
John
he
Sharp's
might have...
he's called a tap there.
Oh, we'll have to see the replay.
He's saying that Carr's is tapped out. A little bit interesting there. It looked like he was prying for the elbow and he might have slipped off there.
I did see an arm movement. I didn't see where he went with his hand. We'll have to have a look at the replay there.
But of course, in saying that, fighter safety is always of the utmost importance here in Valor.
Absolutely. John Sharp is a UFC experienced ref. He's been around, seen the big leagues. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was a tap or whether Carson was just trying to position his hand to get up. Might have looked like a tap, but we're going to have the benefit of hopefully having a look at some of the good replays. But Ryan Gray, 50 shades, now 5-0, 50 shades. There you go.
There you go. So, working the magic. Oh, I'm not sure about that. That's the one we're looking at.
Well, John Sharp, I'm not sure whether he actually thought, as he's thrown his hand down, whether he might have actually choked him out unconscious.
Yeah,
and maybe that's why he stopped it.
Yeah, look, they're going to get some contention through there. But look, John Sharp is doing his job, trying to look after the fighter's safety.
Fighters to center cage, please.
Yeah, a big thanks to Maximus Sports Drinks, Anytime Fitness Launceston, and of Kings and Gods Tattoos. Very quick fight, but a good fight.
Absolutely. Here we go to Perry
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Sharp puts a stop to this contest. 31 seconds into the first round. You're going to make a teaching by tap out and still undefeated, ravishing Ryan Gray.
And in that same, it's got a very super experienced tournament that they're entering with the likes of people like Miguel Torres, ex-UFC.
And let's have a look at the Honey Badger.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Semi-main event of the evening. Valor 8 second anniversary show, Launceston, Tasmania. Our next contest is in the featherweight division. Proudly brought to you by Fit Freak Supplements and Donati's Pizza Bar and Restaurant. Introducing first from the blue corner, fighting out of Sydney, New South Wales, the Annihilator, Adam Corbett.
Versus Brisbane down here in Tubbo, the Annihilator.
Yeah, and Adam Corbett, a very, very game fighter. You can see there from his record, look, it maybe doesn't look that flashy, but he really steps up. Tim Moore, JJ Van Asweg, and Jordan Lucas, Shantaram Maharaj. He doesn't just fight nobodies, he fights anybody, anywhere, anytime. That's exactly what you need. You see him on the social media all the time. You see someone drop out, he puts his hand up. you see any fighter saying, I want to fight anywhere, anytime, he's there for you.
Absolutely. I was actually fighting on the same card when he fought Jordan Lucas. Jordan Lucas, very talented fighter from Victoria. He's happy to take that bout again on short notice and came out and gave his best. As much as he didn't go to his plan, he's a game fighter. MMA is known as not being too worried about records. He contrasts to like a boxing. We come out to fight. Every fight's different.
Absolutely. Saying that though, this evening he has bitten off a lot in Pat Pomranka. Very experienced fighter for 23 years of age. He's got 9 fights already on his record. He's been fighting for 3 and 4 years now, and he's ready to show Australia what he can do before he goes to that next level.
Absolutely. He's carrying in an amazing win over first former Tough Smashers contestant Grant Fletcher, who was undefeated at the time, put him to sleep with a knocking overhand right. Apparently from all the training partners we hear that Pat does pack a lot of power in that overhand right. We're going to see if he can unleash it tonight on Adam.
Now, one thing that I could say possibly might play into Adam's favour, he's a very active fighter. He gets in there very, very often. However, Pat Pomranka hasn't fought for just on a year. So it will be interesting to see if any of that ring rust does happen, or whether his preparation at Riot Vale Judo is going to see him in good stead here this evening.
So Adam Corbett, as we said, fighting out of New South Wales.
The best cut man in the business there, Dom Macri, vassing him up, ready to get into the cage, making sure that he doesn't get cut unduly. It's well protected in there.
Like you said, Adam Corbett does stay very active. That plays well into the nerves. When you're not having those big ups and downs,
And his opponent,
helps you
ladies
with
and
the nerves coming into
gentlemen,
fight.
formerly from Bangkok, Thailand, now residing in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. One of Australia's top prospects, and now a contract fighter on Rebel FC. Please welcome the Honey Badger, Pat Pomranka.
Got big reps on this, boys. He said one of his international signed fighters. It's interesting to see coming out of Thailand, where the home of Muay Thai is in Thailand, and turning his hand to MMA. They produce some bloody good boxers as well. So obviously, Pat now training up in Queensland with out at Riot Vale Judo with Dan Ensign Hyatt.
Absolutely, obviously very keen to go with his hands there. Thailand, as you said, traditional Muay Thai background, boxing background. In Thailand, MMA's only just starting to become accepted. There was a big push at one point. It was actually illegal because Muay Thai is the national sport of Thailand. Fortunately, it has opened up a bit with camps like Phuket Top Team, Tiger Muay Thai. But it's great to see the Honey Badger here representing and taking Australia overseas and representing proudly.
I think the reason that it was illegal in Thailand for a while was the Thai government was concerned at the sheer growth of MMA. They didn't want to come into Thailand. It's like trying to make soccer the national sport here in Australia with AFL rules. It was a big step, but Pat Pomranka, Dan Ensign Hyatt and his corner Dan's got big reps on him.
Absolutely. So we know he's got that great striking background. Just looking on his sheet, and also he's an Oceania sumo champion.
Clearly got the build for it.
As much as people might laugh and chuckle about that, sumo background does produce really good face towards wrestling anyway. You see that with Lyoto Machida in the UFC. So that sumo background might play into his advantage if he does want to keep his fight standing.
And I think he will. I don't think we're going to see too much groundwork here this evening. Pat Pomranka, Adam Corbett, they both like to stand there and really throw leather. Corbett is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got a passion for BJJ, but it'll be interesting to see whether he can take advantage of that this evening.
And you look at the height difference between the two, as much as Adam Corbett's quite a bit taller, and you might think that comes into an advantage, but as we keep talking about the Honey Badger's devastating overhand right, that actually plays into his advantage. When you've got that nice tall opponent, you can just duck your head a little bit to pop that overhand right.
And remember too, this is A-class rules, so the elbows come into play, coming from the Thai background. That's one of the things they love to use, so interesting to see from the stand-up whether he throws them.
Absolutely, we did see a bit of claret earlier. Let's see what comes down this evening. Looks like we're about to go over to Perica.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Semi-main event of the evening. 3 by 5 minute rounds in the featherweight division. Proudly brought to you by Fit Freak Supplements and Nutrition and Donati's Pizza Bar and Restaurant. When the action begins, our referee in charge is the bull, Mr. Peter Hickmott. Firstly, to my left, fighting into the blue corner, trained by Eric Bayo from INRG Warrior Gym. This man is a BJJ fighter. Official weight 69.9 kilograms, standing 5 feet 8.5 inches. inches tall. Tonight we're in the yellow shorts with a green and black trim. Fighting out of Sydney, New South Wales. He has a professional fight record of 12 fights for 3 wins. Please welcome the Annihilator, Adam Corbett. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the red corner, trained by the bad guy, Dan Ensign Hyatt from Valtudo. Official weight, 68.2 kilograms, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. This man has a discipline in Melwood Jiu-Jitsu. Tonight, wearing the black shorts with a blue trim. Born in Bangkok, Thailand, now residing in Brisbane, Queensland. Ladies and gentlemen, professional fight record, 9 fights, 5 wins. Please welcome Pat the Honey Badger Ranka. Fighters to center cage, please, for final instructions.
Our semi-main event proudly brought to you by Fit Freak Supplements and Nutrition and Donati's Pizza Bar. What are we going to expect?
Millwood Jiu-Jitsu is going worldwide, baby. It started off down here in Launceston. It's going out to the masses.
Both look very composed, not their first dance.
On the cage here, Pat. On the cage.
This will be a very calm fight to start till something ticks them off.
So for the viewers at home watching this on Go Fight Live, Adam Corbett with the green and yellow
Adam,
trunks.
Pat, you good? Let's do it.
Round one.
Prom Ranker not looking to touch gloves there. Another Valor Judo thing from Hyatt's crew.
Lots of movement by Adam early. Obviously not going to play into that power. Wants to stick and move, stick and move.
Looking to keep that range early with a jab and a leg kick that didn't work. Prom Ranker just nothing with the ground game. He wants to stand.
You know, guys, that's very much Thai style, just catch the kick.
Isn't it? Isn't it? Does need to be careful though. He could play into it. Drop to catch the kick, leave your head wide open. Corbett throwing the uppercut there. Prom Ranker just does not care for this at all.
To say Pat might look confident may be an understatement.
3 5-minute rounds, guys.
Do you think Rockstar might almost look a bit overconfident? Could it come back to hurt him?
You never know what happens in this sport. He just keeps catching those kicks.
He
might be rolling for a knee bar here.
He's looking for a knee bar. I think
obviously all rotational leg locks are in this fight. Pat's doing a good job. Look out.
It could be switching. There's looking to go to a heel hook
maybe to a
here.
50-50 style position. Great defense by Pat there.
Ground.
Automatically shoots straight in with Pat sprawling.
And that's something that Prom Ranker, as he does progress, he's going to have to get used to that grappling. Tobin, very much a grappler.
Absolutely. Not too interested in the ground game at all, Pat. Very calm, very confident.
And very happy to keep it up on his feet.
You get the impression he's just picking his moment, don't you?
I think he's leaving that lead hand low, trying to bait Adam in, and he wants to unload that right hand. Ooh.
There's glimpses of it.
Corbett's got that height and reach advantage, so he might be able to tag the Honey Badger.
I think Adam needs to stop circling towards that right hand very soon.
I think that'll be a smart move. It looks like he's finished the double leg there, turning the corner. Showed some good technique there. As we're locked up in the guard now, here's a chance for us to see the Honey Badger's ground game.
Maintaining position, using his hands. Obviously can't strike while trying to maintain this position, but let's see if he can progress it.
It's a bit of a dangerous move there inside someone's guard, using your hands on the ground. You can see now he's got him around the waist there, but if you do leave him out there, you are susceptible to an arm lock.
Absolutely.
Promranka looking for possibly a guillotine there. Corbett trying to pass around. He's out to half guard now.
He's getting his back up against the cage, hopefully trying to shoot up with that wall walk.
And certainly that's one of the techniques that you guys would practice a lot, isn't it, Rockstar? Getting up against the cage and using that technique.
Absolutely. There he scoops in. Switches for a double himself. He might just use that to stand.
He's going for the high crotch.
And down he goes.
Is that Jamie Tahuna?
And that's got the crowd on their feet now.
Now he wants a bit of the ground game. He's had enough of the patient stuff.
I thought he might have actually stepped back there, Honey Badger, and just let it go back up to his feet.
It did look like he was using that double as a way to go up.
For a choke there. He might be a little on the side. We can't see the face.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit more of a face crank on that angle. I think you'll find.
He's still got the neck if you can squeeze it. I think
now there's trouble. Now there's trouble. He's got it. It's all over.
And he's out.
Absolutely clinical performance there from the Honey Badger, Pat Promranka.
And a bit of swagger too from the Honey Badger in centering. Grant, you get up there and have a chat to the boys, but very impressive, Callan.
Now he's just thought I might just have a lay back. I've earned myself a rest. Very calm, very collected.
Yeah, very happy with himself, and why not? Very composed fighter in centering, but tapped out Adam Corbett unconscious.
Absolutely. Adam came out and gave a very spirited event. Pat was just very confident from the start. and just played into his hands in the end. Look, he didn't want to initiate in the ground game, but in the end, got sick of waiting and went and found the finish himself.
That's Muay Thai 101 there, where you just catch the kick and hold it and turn around.
Craig Tobler trying to initiate some sort of in-cage dance routine.
Again, big thanks to the...
Beautiful, and obviously the crew here at Hyatt Valley Tudo, very, very happy with the performances. They've got a couple of great wins tonight. Great work as well by our referee Peter Hickmott, looking after our fighters. As you can see with this one, the fighter did go unconscious. They have to protect it.
And he had the right arm tucked in too, so he couldn't defend it at all. So
it's a very slight call to see whether the opponent, the fighter, is unconscious or not. So that's where you sympathise with John Sharp.
So here we go to Perry Carl for our official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Peter Hickmott puts a stop to this contest. 2 minutes and 53 seconds into the first round. Joined by rear naked choke by tap out, the Honey Badger, Pat Ureca.
Impressive performance there, Kellen. I'll tell you what.
On Go Fight Live and Paris Productions. All right, guys, before we get into our main event, we will go into the tail of the tape and the history of these guys who have made the final of the undisputed Valor lightweight title.
Here we go, guys. David Butt, the Punisher, went through the first semi-final, defeating Chris Drummond, taking on the smiling assassin, the 19-year-old Adam Cook. $3,000 on the line and a belt up for grabs.
I think both guys have gone through, as you said, they've gone through full bouts. Both went to decision. Both still look pretty fresh. There has been a couple of hours in between. I think this will be just like seeing the main event of any other fight card. Both guys in there ready to give 100%, ready to go.
All right, let's go over and have a look at some of the highlights of these boys in their semi-finals and what led into them meeting up in the final.
And here you can see an absolute war between Chris Drummond and David Butt. Lots of heavy hands going by the end of it. Both of them, the noses were bright red. Plenty of the claret pouring out there. David Butt getting the better of the exchanges, going, I think he was 30-27 on 2 cards and 29-28 on 1 from memory. So that really gives some impression of how close the fight was, that one of the judges saw it that way.
Absolutely. We saw a much more composed David Butt in this fight, almost like lightning in a bottle. When he had to explode and get off his combos, he did. When he had to pull back and refrain from it using too much energy, he did. And I think that's going to serve him well in this final.
I think what we saw tonight was a real maturing of David Butt. That might have been a coming out party of sorts in terms of a new, more mature David Butt, ready to hold his own and start to pace things beautifully as he goes into this fight against the smiling assassin, Adam Cook.
His hands were really on the mark tonight.
And you look at, they're using that cage to his advantage. His cage control in his fight was sensational, keeping his partner up, his opponent up against the cage, not able to utilise head movement and footwork to defend these shots that he wants to land. And I'm suggesting he's going to try and use a very similar game plan against Adam Cook.
Yeah, and something that's really interesting with Adam Cook, he's not too shy about getting his back against the cage. So Butt won't have to work too hard to get the fight to where he wants it to be. You've got to wonder, Adam Cook, he's very young, he's very versatile. If he comes in with that same game plan, it could spell trouble for him.
Absolutely. I think between the two first fights and the game plans they instigated in those fights, I think Adam needs to make the most changes. Not so far as the strikes, but just maybe his initial movement, where he's going to and fro, if he wants to make a bit more damage in this fight.
Yeah, it was a good experience for both Chris Drummond getting in there, and of course Steve Maxwell as well, you know, fighting on such a big card against a good quality opponent. A 4-man eliminator, it's a tough gig, it really is. And you don't see it a lot in the MMA side of things now, so.
Absolutely, you have to be the toughest man on earth to win these sort of 4-man tournaments. It's a separation of men and boys. I don't know how any man could possibly stretch their will, their determination, and oh, look out, we've got some other fights going on here. But no, look, it is.
And then Calipota firmly takes his tongue out of his cheek.
But no, look, it is. Look, it's a big task, and I'm sure these guys put a lot of seriousness into it. Lots of training has led to this moment. They've got over the first hurdle. They've got to mentally go back there, prepare themselves, and come out for the big one.
And I think here's a great example we can see on our screens now, boys. The X factor with Adam Cook. His grappling is outstanding. You can see there he's working a crucifix neck crank, right, from the mount there.
Yips.
And not only is it fantastic, it's so unorthodox. You wouldn't call it sambo, you wouldn't call it jiu-jitsu, you wouldn't call it judo. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but what you would definitely call it is effective.
Absolutely. Look, he's not too scared about any realms, you know what I mean? That might be his advantage leading to this fight. We all know Dave wants to keep it in that standing realm. He'll be the first person to tell you he wants to get in there and swing heavy leather. Adam quite happy to mix up the realms that they're going to jump into. That's going to be his advantage in the fight. Can he mix them up and not leave this in the area where Dave's going to have an obvious advantage?
Well, the interesting thing too, when we interviewed David Butt at the end of the fight, he said, and you know, Grant, you asked the question, who would you like to see in the final? He said, well, if I don't win it, I'd love to see Adam Cook win it. So there's some good respect there as well.
Absolutely, and again, it just shows the sportsmanship, and that's what this is. It's a sport, it's a contest. The guys in here, yeah, they're in there for the glory. They're in there for the trophy, they're in there for the belt. Sure, I'm sure $3,000 wouldn't go astray, but they're not in there to fight another man. They're in there to win a sporting contest, and I think that's so important in this day and age that everybody does understand that as we see what could be described as an amazing sporting contest as Stephen Maxwell wears a knee to his nose.
Absolutely. Look, like I've said to you guys before, sometimes some of the best fights you see are between two people that really like each other. You know what I mean? It's like I said, we're not in here to cause damage. We're not in here as an anger thing. We're in there as a sporting contest.
And the ultimate way to show respect is to give your opponent 100% of your energy.
Absolutely agree.
And we've got to remember too, this has now stepped up to 5-minute rounds A class.
That full A class rules, the elbows are in, the leg locks are in, the up kicks are in. That could be interesting. You never know. Could see Butt knock Cook down, and Cook does have that. I thought he had a height advantage. Taylor Tape's on the same side. Let's see how we go as we head over in just a moment to our MC.
So Taylor the Tape now, we've got Dave Buck, 5 wins and four draws, taking on Adam Cook, 4 wins and 2 draws. This is a great culmination to what's been a great show here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment of truth, the one that you've all been waiting for. Proudly brought to you by Bulk Nutrients, our main event sponsor. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, from the blue corner, winner of the semi-final number 2, fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania, the smiling assassin, Adam Cook.
Fighter down here as well, guys, and a big step up, and what a way to make it through to the main event as well.
Absolutely. Look, having to make that walk 2 times in a night, but like we said before, as much as he's a young fighter, he seems to have that clever head on his shoulders.
And here he is representing his martial arts heritage, coming out in the full karate gi.
To those of you sitting at home watching this in the comfort of your lounge rooms tonight, you may not be able to see this, but the crowd are almost as one on their feet, ready for this young fighter.
Yes, and as we said, some big raps on this young kid, a very popular boy, and Jim and I were saying earlier on, this guy, everyone knows him up in Burnie, up in Tasmania, not just for being a martial artist, but just being an all-round nice guy as well, and that speaks volumes.
It really does, and it's great to see how worldwide this sport really is spread. Burnie, it's a fairly isolated place. It's up on the northwest coast of Tasmania there. Not a huge town by any stretch of the imagination, yet they're turning out such great quality athletes.
He looks very relaxed, very confident, stepping back into the cage for the second time this evening. I don't think the mental games are actually catching up with him at all. He looks very composed, looks like he's ready to go out there and get a job done.
And there you can see Coach Oscar Harding. I think from memory, Adam was telling me that he's been training with Oscar since he was about 5 years of age. Taking last minute instructions to beat the bull hip right there. About to step into the Bulk Nutrients cage and get it on.
Grant, with the inclusions of these new A-class tools, obviously rotational leg locks, elbows, who do you think that plays more advantage to, Adam or Dave?
I think Dave needs to be really careful if he does wind up on top on the ground, getting too overzealous throwing those elbows. We've seen with the smiling assassin, he can throw up just from the bottom very, very easily. All it's going to take is David Buck to over-rotate on one big strike, which he does have potential to do at times, and he could find himself in a position that he does not want to be in.
And his opponent, winner of semi-final number 1, fighting out of Brisbane, Queensland tonight, representing Launceston, Tasmania. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Punisher, David Barr.
And the Punisher, let me me tell you, he did punish Chris Drummond in his first semi-final.
That was 9 minutes of assault and battery. Although it did go a little bit both ways, he certainly didn't come out of it with no scars. Let's see if he can back it up again. Can he go 5-5? Will he have to go 5-5?
Absolutely. Look, he's got a big following down here in Launceston. He's very, very pumped to get that strap around his waist.
Tell you guys, I wonder whether this is a little psychological thing. David Budd coming out to the Lion King. I think at the end of Adam Cook's fight, he said Akuma Matata, or however it goes out of the Lion King, which means who cares? And David Budd, I reckon, changed his walkout song as if to say, well, who cares? Well, I'm coming out to it now. So is that a bit of a mind game going on?
It just could well be. I think one of the great things with David, every time he comes out to fight, he does come out to something different. You see guys come out to the gangster rap, you see him come out to metal, which I always love hearing personally. He doesn't need that music to hype him up, he's just ready, he's in the zone.
There's been an occasion when someone came out to a bit of Rod Stewart down here once.
I do seem to remember a bloke come out to Rod Stewart, and I was blown away. That night, he was sailing.
That wasn't you, the rock star, was it?
Oh, I tell you what, I'm a bit of a lover of the old guys. Get a bit of Rod Stewart, a bit of John the Cougar Mellencamp, even a bit of the Boss. I'll take a bit of it all.
You're not going to go and see the Eagles when they come out soon, are you, mate?
Actually, the day after Dave and I had our amazing tussle, I had to go back to Melbourne and see the Boss the very next day.
Nice.
I was trying to sing along, but my jaw wouldn't move.
Was that the one where that was courtesy of, oh, that was Dave, was it, after that fight?
That's the one.
There you go. For anyone at home who didn't see that fight, I suggest jump on YouTube, look for the Valor stream on YouTube. That was one of the better fights you will ever see. Both men at one point looking like they were going to take the straps. Both men at one point looking like they were going to lose the straps. I'm sitting next to the champion tonight. Dave Butt's in there at 70 kilos. Beautiful.
Here we go, guys. The main event proudly brought to you by Bulk Nutrients, and a big thanks to the boys getting behind it tonight. Punch equipment has tested on humans, and of course the Hotel New York where the after party is happening. $3,000 bragging rights and a bit of bling up for grabs, and this is what it's all about.
I got to have a chat to Dave before or after his fight, and what I said to him then, I said, Dave, you actually earned yourself a belt back in February, mate. Tonight you can go get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, these two warriors now step into the cage to go toe-to-toe in the Olding Proving Ground. As ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening. It is now time to separate the men from the boys. Sanctioned by Mixed Martial Arts Australasia. Our major sponsor, Bulk Nutrients, your one-stop supplement shop. Our glove provider, Punch Equipment, tested it on humans. Our official after party at the Hotel New York. And our judges at cage side, Matt Eisel, Jeremy Balfour, Frank Holm, and Rob Yule. Our timekeeper, Deb Diacono. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Mr. John Sharp. Our physician at cage side, Dr. Alexander Todorovic. And our main event sponsor, Bulk Nutrients Cage. And now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Live around the world, Launceston, Tasmania, are you ready? Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it's fight time! 5 by 5 minute rounds for the undisputed Valor lightweight title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Oscar Harding from the Shen Academy. Official weight 70.2 kilograms, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. This man has a discipline in Shen martial arts. Tonight we're in the black shorts with a red trim. The winner of semi-final number 2, fighting out of Burnie, Tasmania. 6 fights for 4 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the smiling assassin, Adam Cool. And his opponent to my right, fighting out of the right corner, trained by the bad guy, Dan Ensign Hyatt from Ride Val Tudo. Official weight 70.6 kilograms, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. Tonight we're in the black shorts with a black and grey trim. 9 fights, 5 wins, 3 by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Brisbane, Queensland, and tonight representing Launceston, Tasmania, please welcome David the Punisher Budd! fighters to centre cage, please, for final instructions.
And here we go, boys. This is what the biscuits are here for.
The blokes are professionals, okay, so keep it clean. Listen to my instructions at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. 5-5s, touch gloves, step back.
All right, 5 fans, strap yourselves in.
And
You're watching
into
this
the
live
draw,
on
ladies
Go
and
Fight Live, proudly brought to you by Fight Sports and JPS Coatings. And Bulk Nutrients, our main event sponsor here tonight, along with Punch Equipment and Hotel New York. $3,000 up for grab. And the belt. Guys, predictions.
I'm going to go David Butt, third round knockout.
Sit down, Rowan.
Butt early or Cook late. Sitting on the fence there, and you can tell the crowd are as well. I'd say from the introductions there, crowd about 50-50 split there as Cook opens early with a kick to the ribs.
Dave looking to close range very early. I think he wants to establish that he's the stronger fighter much earlier.
Now Dave's going out very hard very early here. If it comes off, it's great. Going 5 5-minute rounds, that could turn into a bit of a difficulty.
Lots of knees early.
Uppercut that snuck through on the jaw there. Adam Cook really looking for that range. You can see there, one of the things he does is he does fight with his arms up nice and high, but his palms out, almost inviting the fighter to come in and looking for the counter.
Yeah, and you could hear the sickening thud that no male likes to hear.
No. Look, I think Adam is going to look to get those kicks going early, and Dave wants to close range as quick as he can.
And you can already see that starting to happen, can't you?
Absolutely.
Guys, that one was flush. I think Dave Butts had a little bit of bother there at the moment.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Absolutely. That's not where we want to get attacked.
He's got up to 5 minutes. It's, you know, sometimes you think, do you take that time, or do you just get back in amongst it?
Well, that's right, and the trend seems to be for guys to get back in there as soon as they can. We'll see if it has any lasting effects.
Dave, as we predicted, has taken the centre of the cage.
But again, Adam looking comfortable there. He's not looking to take the centre. He's happy to bounce around the outside, moving away from Dave's power hand. We all know that right is huge. Both men finding a kick there.
What we want to be weary of here is every time Adam's popping a jab, Dave's being a very high guard, which could leave him vulnerable for a body kick.
So you look at the left eye of a good kick there from Butt. You look at the left eye of Dave Butt, and it's quite swollen.
Yes.
It is, and that could be easy for Cook to open up as he gets a huge kick on the ribs there. Dave is hurt. There's no doubt Dave is hurt. He grabbed it there. He's got a guillotine, but he's wincing in agony. He's closed the guard. That left arm's not in position to
recover. He's going to use his time to recover.
Absolutely. He's closed his guard there, and that's what he's looking for.
And Cook needs to just start driving the elbows into that midsection because he caught
Dave
Butt on that
flush
floating
those
ribs.
ribs. And anyone who's ever been hit there can attest to just how much that hurts.
Not the funny. You can have the greatest chin on earth. Doesn't matter if you get hit in the guts.
And I'm thinking he's forgetting about that last shot he got too.
Let's not forget.
If Dave's looking to stick that arm away maybe for a triangle setup.
Yeah, very possibly. And you can see there the impact that the gloves have. By wearing those 4-ounce gloves, it's quite easy for Dave to control Adam's hands there. They can't just slip out.
You can also, from where we're sitting, you can see the swelling on Dave Butt's left eye.
And again, as we mentioned, one shot on that, especially now that elbows are in. We can see he's looking for it with the hammer fist attempted there.
Dave's doing a good job of controlling posture. Adam not in any sort of rush here, just playing the position well.
Yeah, Dave's playing a very high guard, which does keep him out of the range. As he swims for a triangle there, he hasn't got quite that arm locked off yet. But you can see he's attacking, which is something that's probably going to surprise a lot of our viewers here.
Dave Butt looking over to his corner.
Utilising an overhook nicely. Beautiful. I think both fighters were happy to get that stand up then.
Absolutely.
Adam's very pumped now. He knows he's damaged Dave early.
I dare say he's going to go for that rib again. You can see it. That swelling over the Southern Cross there on Dave's ribs.
Well, he's got a target. He's got the left eye.
He's got two targets.
He's got the left eye or the right rib cage to work towards. And that left eye of Butt is starting to close up.
And now he's got the nose as well, but David's just smiling. He will walk through this. Another shot on the ribs.
He's really going to go towards those ribs now, I think.
And you can look Dave's dropping his arm to protect that rib cage now. It could only be a matter of time until Cookie throws that switch kick up high. Looks to go low, flicks it up high and gets him in the melon.
Just the composure of this kid is exceptional. 19 years of age in centre cage. He's not looking overwhelmed at all.
He looks like he was born for this, doesn't he?
Dave's obviously being a little bit more passive now.
He knows that if he rushes into this, Cook's just ready to counter, and he's done it successfully 2 and 3 times already. Another one of those big stinging left kicks, just targeting the ribcage of David Butt at the moment.
I think that one was a little bit more foot and just glance, but look, he's still hitting that area. He's going to make Dave think.
That's right. The ones that really worry are the ones that thud. If you hear that slapping sound, you know that that's just a little bit of connection. If they thud, if you don't hear it, that's when you start to worry.
There it is again.
He's going again.
Covered up.
Like a baseball bat on a side of beef. Dave answering back with kicks.
Now, with 50 seconds left in the round, you'd have to think that these guys, if they get through to the end of it, Dave's coaches from Hyatt Valor are going to be telling him to cover up that rib at all costs and look maybe to catch the kick as it comes in.
Ooh, he's looking for that body. Dave's starting to get into a bit of a kick battle now with Adam. I don't think he wants to do that. I think he goes back to that initial plan of closing distance. Obviously, he's a little intimidated with that body kick that's coming at him now.
Yeah, but every time he does try and close the distance, Adam just picks him off with one of those, either one of those hooks to the body, a great little body rip, or those lanky kicks that he's got.
Absolutely.
Great kick there from David going around the back there.
Very unorthodox Cookie, switching stances. He's got the hands open. As you said, very much the traditional karate. Just trying to throw Butt off.
Yeah, it is as we go into our final 10 seconds. We've said that he's got a very untraditional grappling style, but so too his stand-up, and that's very hard for some fighters to deal with. You see in the UFC in days gone by, the guy by the name of Keith Jardine, he had a really awkward sort of style. The Smiling Assassin's somewhat like that. Guys just don't know where it's going to come from.
And I'll tell you what an impressive first round from the young fella from Burnie in Tasmania. David Butt looks in a world of hurt. His eyes closing, his nose is bleeding again, and of course his ribs.
But if there's one thing the Rockstar can tell you right now is David Butt does not have any quit in him. He will not come out of here without fighting.
Absolutely, he will fight if two of his ribs are hanging out. He's looking interesting to see how he recovers. We did mention that Adam did need to change his game leading into this.
And here we can see, there's that first kick that opened things up, followed up with the left hook, looking for the ribs, looking for the eye. You can see there a sneaky little uppercut coming through. And Cook, at the moment, he just looks comfortable.
The impressive thing with Cook is, we looked at that first kick and it was off the right side. Then he switched up into southpaw and it was the left kicks to the right rib cage that were scoring on David Butt.
Yeah, and of course, as he switches to that southpaw stance, the kick coming from the rear leg now gives a lot more power.
We'd like to see, as Adam does instigate that southpaw stance, for Dave to get outside of that lead leg of Adam. It's going to make that roundhouse kick that is landing for him a little less potent.
Yeah, it really is the key to fighting an opposite stance fighter, isn't it? Is to get on that outside.
But as you said, all half by David Butt. He was buckled over with that rib kick and then he went for the takedown. So round 2, bulk nutrients, main event, Valor 8. Doesn't get any better than this, guys, here at the Albert Hall down here in Launceston.
And I dare say if you ask either of these guys if there was anywhere else in the world they'd rather be right now, they would say hell no. As Cook goes open early with a high head kick.
He does have some spring on those kicks, Cookie, doesn't he?
He does. And he's not too worried about leaving himself on the one leg there either. He's happy to throw that high check up there to protect himself.
Guys, if you were Dan Henson, what would you be saying to Dave Butt in between rounds?
Look, you've got to get into this. Is a much better range for Dan for Dave at the moment. Instigate it much. He's a stronger fighter. Make Cookie carry his weight for a couple of minutes just to slow him down, get that little bit of spring out of his step.
And we can see there that Cookies has changed his game plan. We were talking earlier. He's spinning out there to get David Butts back on the fence. Yeah, look, I think if David is going to close the distance, he's going to have to realise that, yeah, he's going to eat one on the way in. He's not going to get in there with no penalty.
And the left eye of David Butt is almost completely closed.
He's been there before. He's done that before. There's a fantastic photo going around of Dave Butt after one of his fights looking more like Frankenstein.
I think Dave's going to have a lot of trouble trying to land that bomb from such a distance. Adam being a really slick, smart fighter, he needs to close that distance. I think that's the range where Dave's going to get the win. Otherwise, Cookie's going to sit in this range and pick him off with those ones and twos.
Yeah,
there's that land.
And another kicked up to the ribs there. And it'll only take a couple of those before Dave slows down. One of the things that David was so successful with against Drummond earlier in the night was throwing those punches in bunches, those flurries, those combinations.
There it is again.
Now he's just throwing those one shots, and Cook just sees them coming and picks them off.
And you know what? Cook didn't rush him that time. He said, you know what? I'm just going to keep chipping away at that rib cage.
Absolutely. Right. He knows he's got 5 rounds to work with.
And you can see in his head at the moment, he knows he's ahead on the judges' scorecards. I don't think he's going to coast to it, but it does give him that comfort. He knows he doesn't have to force things as he throws that left leg again. He's just so efficient with his movement. Every time that David comes in, he'll slip a punch or he'll get outside, get in just the right spot.
Just going to say his head movement just then as Butt was coming in, he just weaved out of the way. Just exceptional timing.
Absolutely. That's why that long-range attack that Dave's sort of instigating at the moment isn't going to work. It's too far, too easy, leaves Adam too much time to get out of the way. This is the range I think Dave needs to fight at least for the next round.
Absolutely. Just to get himself back in there, find some comfort, remember those things that he's good at, and get back on the scorecards. You see there, it's going to be very difficult for David because that being this the left eye, that is, of course, his lead eye, and that's going to make it very difficult to see things coming out of that front hand.
Tell you what, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure here tonight calling this. It really has culminated. No one's left the building. As we said, $3,000 up for grab. Two very popular fighters down here as well.
Absolutely, the crowd split, and I think when we see head kicks going like that, that's every reason why everyone's sticking around. They're getting absolute bang for their buck tonight here at the Albert Hall.
That's it. Everyone that stepped in the cage tonight is giving it their all, and you don't expect anything less on a Valor card.
Here is David closes the distance now. He's got his back up against the cage, but let's see what he can do to work.
He's got a standing choke here. Oh, he's jumping to it.
This is the evening
this
for it.
This looks deep.
That is deep.
That looks very
Does
deep.
he know to sit up?
He's got to do a sit-up.
He's got to sit up. He's trying to
do a crunch like he's doing a sit-up. Oh, he's just giving the thumbs up.
See what happens, ladies and gentlemen, with the guillotine where they don't have the arm in. The idea is to curl back. But when you've got an arm in one, you need to sit up over his head to put that pressure on the back of his neck.
Be worried if he doesn't get the choke here, he might put a lot of blood in his arms.
Absolutely. It hurts a lot if you come out there.
Cookie's actually...
Oh, great work by the smiling assassin just to get out of that.
And Dave looks a little bit exhausted from that effort.
And that is going to be one heck of a heavy arm. It was his left arm as well. That's going to be his lead hand. Is he going to be able to keep it up when the fight gets back to his feet?
Dave Butt was looking up at John Sharp as if to say, come on. call it off. But John Sharp just looked at it and said, no.
That's right, and while he's a very enthusiastic grappler, and the nuts and bolts of the technique were there, Callan, we could both see there that what you need to finish that choke was quite missing. He's seen it before, he might have drilled it, but he hasn't. That's not his wheelhouse.
Yeah, he needed to hit that crunch, get his body nice and tight to the back of Adam's head. And now we're a bit worried that because of that major effort, he might get a little bit blood in the arms. Adam being on top in Dave's guard, he's not an overly active fighter, but he knows that he's going to be scoring points being on top with this slight little rabbit punches.
Yeah, that's right, and you can see there Dave's his left leg there, he's got that little half butterfly hook in. For a grappler of Cook's ability, he should be able to pass guard from there.
Absolutely.
And Dave Butt just working the elbows to the collarbones of Adam Cook, trying to elbow the side of the ear as well.
And of course that wasn't a factor that came into play in the first fights. Now he's working very well. We've seen Anderson Silva use that fairly effectively in the UFC as we've got 20 seconds to go.
But Cook's doing the right thing, just keeping his head down nice and
very
low,
tight.
not opening himself up for those elbows.
I hope the refs are educated enough to see that as much as Adam's on top there, Dave is the one doing quite a bit of damage off his back.
That's exactly right.
He's had the submission attempt and he's gone for the elbows.
As we go into the last 10 seconds here, the referee John Sharp has brought him to their feet. Big head kick from Cook to close the round off there. It was a much closer round.
And I tell you what, Adam Cook just turned around, smiled and walked back to his corner. A very comfortable young fella here in centre cage, guys.
I don't think, for people who were watching that fight, I don't think that choke, it looked amazing, it looked fantastic, but I don't know that it was that deep. I don't know that it had as much of an impact on Cook as it did on Butt and his arm when he was putting it on.
Have a look at Adam sitting in his corner. He's almost like he's studying for an exam. He looks very composed, not breathing too heavy. Dave, on the other hand, is sucking in some deep wind.
Yeah, Big Bear Craig Table's got the end swell on there, trying to get rid of the swelling on the eye, trying to get rid of swelling on the nose. Looks like he's got a bit of a shaving cut under the chin there. Fantastic corner there, he does know what he's doing, and Dave will come out ready to go in the second round. Third round, I should say.
One of the best in the business, Craig, dealing with those cuts.
Very experienced boxing background. And of course, did make his refereeing debut down here at the last Valor card.
How was his performance as a referee?
Oh, his performance was fantastic.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
No, absolutely. The Big Bear can get a dance move on, I might add. You can see Dan Hyatt there barking instructions to David Butt in the corner.
But Callan, you're spot on. Young Adam Cook, he's just sitting back, he's just looking super composed.
He knows he's picked these certain little things that he'll carry into the body shots aren't going to finish someone automatically, but when you know you've got another 3-5 minute round to deal with, that body shot's going to really wear as the fight goes on. Have a look at the side of Dave's body there.
They've already gone 10 minutes. Their semi-finals were 9 minutes, 3-minute rounds. So this is round number 3, proudly brought to you by Bulk Nutrients, Punch Equipment, Hotel New York. My name's John Fergus.
I'm Grant Bradshaw. And he's the rock star.
And he's the rock star. He doesn't have to speak. Callan Potter.
I'm a little bit enthralled about this fight that's happening in front of us. A little bit focused.
His mere presence speaks as we go into the third round. David Butt throwing a flurry here. We spoke last round about the need for him to do that. To start overwhelming Cook.
He's landed that right hand there, and Cookie is clinching. I think that one
But again,
nice
Cook with a
judo try.
beautiful hip
I
toss.
think what's happened too, guys, Adam Cooks was just saying to John Sharp, because when the boys from the blue corner were jumping in at the start of the third round, they spilt their bucket of ice everywhere, so they've been trying to clean it up, and it's quite slippery over
They'd be
there.
very lucky Joe Rogan's not on the call team tonight, because he's not a fan of the old spilt ice, Joe Rogan.
No, and he'd be telling us about the Diamond Cup after that Nad shot in the first round as well.
That's it, wouldn't be happy with it all.
And we can see here again, Adam Cook on top, David Butt wrapping. You could almost call it a guillotine attempt. He looks like he's going to sit for it now, but his hips aren't really in the position to get anything away.
I think we're going to see Adam once again consolidate this position and just do that slight control.
Yeah, right. And this time you can see he's passed into the side control much earlier. David Butt using the cage to his advantage. I think we might see, we're hearing Oscar Harding barking out from Adam's corner. We might see him start to suck him away from the cage so that he can't use his feet up there as leverage.
I thought Cook might have just tried to reposition himself and start using the knees into the midsection, but you can say it now, guys, officially the left eye of Dave Butt is closed.
I think so. It's closed for the evening. Just like the pubs up in New South Wales, we've got a 1 o'clock lockout now. Must be 1:01 for Dave's eye.
Dave's doing a good job of controlling Adam's posture so he can't rain huge shots down. He's looking to regain his guard.
And he's seemingly comfortable with that little butterfly hook. It's the second time he started to use it. It's not necessarily the most fantastic approach, but it does allow you to stand up.
Up kick, he was grounded. Oh, sorry, he was grounded. Okay.
A little bit of an up kick there. Obviously, when opponent's down, that being their butt or 3 points of contact on the mat, you cannot up kick them in the face. Only a slight one. I don't think it's going to hassle Adam too much.
I think it's just a flesh wound.
Tell you what, not only is the left eye of David Butt closed, the right eye is really struggling. Big warning there from John Sharp.
Okay, so I'm not going to take a point of view this time.
I don't think there was anything intentional that. You saw as soon as both guys got up and embraced there, they have the utmost of respect for each other.
Absolutely.
And they lock it back up again.
Nice little breather for them both.
Again, you can see Cook there with that high check, really confident on the one leg. He's not too concerned about David Butt taking him down.
I tell you what, if he crescent kicks and wins it with that, I'll buy him a beer tonight.
I think I'm looking for a crane kick out of that one. We're talking about Stephen Maxwell flying him earlier in the night. A crane kick could be good here, Miyagi style.
He's trying to pummel in. Adam here with double underlooks. Let's see if he uses them to take down or just get some control against the cage. At the moment, he's pressing Dave up against the cage, using his weight quite well.
And I think it's fair to say that Adam Cook has come into this with a much different strategy. You can see here he is controlling the centre. He has got Butt up against the fence. And what he's doing here, if it's not that active, he's at least making David carry all of his weight.
Yeah, you're right. Dave is carrying a couple of panda eyes there.
I've got to say that right eye as well. It's not too far from being closed.
But like we talked about before, he'll keep fighting until he's either unconscious or he's not allowed to anymore.
That's it. And you get the feeling that even if he's unconscious, he'd still go down swinging.
Yeah,
Just having a look at the left foot of Adam Cook, though. That's starting to swell up. He's been planting it beautifully on Dave Buck. Nice knee as well, but his left foot's starting to swell up. Here comes Dave Buck.
He's not going to use the foot anymore. He's just going to go to the knee. And we saw earlier a couple of those kicks. They were a bit toey, a bit foot, rather than, of course, you want to be connecting with the shin.
He's got that guillotine again, but this time he's going to use it.
He's
turn
going
him around. Defending that single well.
Now, if he defends this right, he actually could come out the back here.
Absolutely. Look, if he wants to take the
and
head
there you go.
Back.
There you go. We've seen a couple of fights already tonight. I know Bam Bam Chapman was winning earlier, and then he wound up getting choked out.
On a back choke.
This would be a huge turnaround.
This would be a massive comeback.
Because you've got to say, Cook has well and truly been dominating this fight. He's giving up the choke now, and he's just looking for that ground and pound.
The crowd have just jumped up to their feet as well, getting behind Dave Buck.
And one of the
things lost both his hooks, but he might be still chasing that choke.
Yeah, look, Cook's defending the choke really well here, and you can see the crowd are getting very excited, getting right up against the cage. One of the things that he's got to do is make sure that he is actively defending himself. He might feel comfortable, but referee John Sharp, if he doesn't see intelligent defence, he would stop the fight.
Dave's got to be cautious not to get his body too high and get shucked off the top.
He's lost both of his hooks now. I think that's a great attack from David Butt there.
There he goes, put the hooks
back in again. But he's got those, he did have the double underhooks, which makes it hard to attack.
Look, he might want to just return to a seatbelt grip just to reposition himself on the back and then go for the choke. A little riding high at the moment. If Adam gets his butt in the air, Dave's going to come off the top.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say David Butt is working his way back into this fight. We could be set for 2 fantastic rounds to close out what's been an amazing fight card so far here.
Guys, I'm super impressed with the composure of young Adam Cook, though.
Absolutely. You look at most guys in this position with 10 seconds to go. I think 30 seconds ago you would have thought it was almost over. There was a choke, there was hooks, it was locked in. and he's just relaxed. He's made the moves, he's done a bit of grip fighting, and he's just sitting out the third round.
Well, I believe that might be your first round of Dave Button tonight.
I was just about to ask you, has he done enough in that round?
And the crowd is literally on their feet for this one here at the Albert Hall. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's look at some of the highlights from that third round. And with Catalan, as you said, a third round leaning the way of David Buck.
Absolutely. Look, we made have thought him in between the rounds. He looked a bit chuffed. He came out with some fire, finished with some fire. These next 2 rounds are going to be interesting to see if Dave wins the next one.
This was a beautiful takedown there.
Absolutely beautiful hip throw.
And look, he held there for a while, held that position as they went down, managed the side control, didn't do much with it. Later on, David defended the single leg with a fantastic back take and rode out the rest of the round in that position, and that might have done enough to take it to 2 rounds to 1. But you never can tell what the judges are going to do in this sport.
Absolutely.
All fighters equipment, punch equipment, tested on human.
He called it well with Dave defending this single leg attack here, switching to the back take.
Yeah, look, it's a really popular option. You don't need to use too much agility, too much flexibility for that. It's a really clear option once you've got that overhook on the arm to work and step around the back, and he did it really well.
Seconds out.
Wipe his body down.
Round 4, guys. We're 15 minutes into it, so these boys have gone longer than they had before.
Let's go, out.
You can see, though, again in this the break after the third round, Cook's up and on his feet, ready to go. David Butt is taking that little bit longer. Every second they can get, they are taking.
Championship rounds, boys.
You ready, son? You ready?
Just having a small discussion in the cage before they go and punch each other in the head again.
Got to have their little meeting. Are we going to touch each other before we hit each other?
Big thanks once again to our major event sponsor, bulknutrients.com.au. Get on and support the guys that support the team down here at Valor.
And of course, the official glove sponsor, Punts Equipment, tested on humans.
And I'll tell you what, they've been well and truly tested tonight.
I think a big turning point in this fight has been, I think Adam's legs have become a bit heavy as the fight's gone on. It's minimised how many kicks he's thrown.
Yeah, and you've got to wonder, is it that lactic acid build-up from going through now 9 minutes in the first and now we're 15 minutes here? That's, we're getting towards half an hour of fighting. Or is it because he's maybe taking a bit of damage from throwing them so many times?
Maybe.
Here, and Dave's going for some rib shots of his own. A great little rip there off the right hand. I wonder, you haven't seen Cook go for that rib cage for a while. I'd just like to see him start opening that up, maybe throw some punches up top and then come through with that kick through the rib cage.
Very much switching his stance, not settling in that southpaw stance. Nice right hand by Dave. Might be looking to just get a knee here.
Yeah, Dave's throwing those punches that he's so renowned for. He's throwing them in 4s and 5s.
And now getting inside that range we were talking about before, not sitting in the range that suits Adam as much.
Yeah, Adam's not as he's not throwing as much on the way in, and so we said earlier that he might have to eat one to go in. That's not necessarily the case now. Dave's a lot more comfortable getting in and closing the distance. We can see a nice leg kick there from Adam Cook. Again though, David's eyes are both closed, his nostrils are both wide open.
He still has a bit of zing on those punches. Adams looks like he might be slowing down just that touch, especially with the kicks.
That's right.
Dave's still coming forward.
And we know a lot of this damage can be superficial in mixed martial arts. You might see a cut, but deep inside there's not a lot of damage. A great little midsection kick there from David Butt off the left leg there.
Says if it's good enough for you, son, it's good enough for me.
This is where the boys have really got to dig deep now, and it's
That's right, and there's a couple of holes in Cook's defences. We've said that he's wide open with it, inviting the attack. I don't know that I'd be inviting too much more from David, but Cook is tired. Something's happened.
Stop. Time. Stand over there.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Cookie may really very much be slowing down. And he relies on that fast foot movement, fast kicks that was winning him those first couple of rounds.
Yeah, that's right.
They seem to be lost out of his arsenal.
And he actually just called John Sharp to call time because a big,
let's go, guys. Let's go.
Big clot of blood fell out.
Coagulated blood, I think we call it. We saw Craig Tobler there in the background as that was happening, imploring Butt to throw those massive herds of punches. And now he goes for another rib kick. Tell you what, these boys are only going to be sleeping on one side tonight.
Absolutely.
Alan, you said it before. There's one thing with Dave Butt.
Butt's coming on right now. That was flush. 2 in a row. Now these are missing. I think it's really important for Cook at this point to close the distance. We've been talking about Butt closing the distance right now. Cook needs to either make distance, make space, or get right inside and
smells
push
a
up.
finish here. Dave smells a finish. He feels Cookie wilting, and Dave's putting it on. He smells the finish here.
Cookie's covering up well. A lot of those are hitting leather, and there you can see now he's got that clinch
if he
close.
can create some distance.
And again, this guillotine. The arm's not in there this time. It's a more traditional guillotine, and this is the point where
needs to get that left elbow in the air. Turn his body through and get that left elbow in the air to really make the choke work. Nice knee.
Or he could just knee him in the head, which works as well.
That stops him doing much. Nice sprawl out. I think Dave needs to separate here and get some strikes off. I think Cookie's right down the low end of his energy bar right now. He needs to defend this.
He is. He's gone from that yellow energy to the red energy and butt with the takedown now. He's defending that single leg very well. The fact that Cook does shoot his single legs with his head on the outside makes it that bit easier to defend and gives the pathway to the back for David Butt. At the moment, you can see he is in a guard position, but the fact that he's got that right arm of Cook underhooked actually gives him the dominant position.
He can't settle on his back here. I think he needs to get back to his feet. I think Adam Cook's going to use this to rest and recover.
Yeah, and one of the really important factors right now, Callan, he's right in his own corner. When you're fighting and you're in the heat of the battle, how much of a difference does it make when you've got your own teammate that you sweat it out with every day right in your ear there?
Absolutely, absolutely. They're going to give him the pumpy knees just to give that little extra kick, especially in the 4th round. Dave, again, I think he's looking to move his hips a little bit and maybe pop out a triangle. Adam not getting to posture. Took the land too big. There it is!
There it is, there it is. Now let's have a look at Adam's defences here.
If he grabs his shin here and he's got to lock the triangle first. He's got to lock it. Lock your foot.
And what Adam's looking
He's got
for,
a triangle choke here.
What Adam's looking for is posture. He's in trouble. He's got that leg hook and he's popped out of it. Very, very difficult to finish any sort of choke. Yeah, that's exactly right. Especially something like a triangle choke where you're relying on the friction around that shoulder.
We're inside the last 20 seconds of this 4th round as well. And another impressive round from David Butt.
I tell you what, this is going to come down to the last round.
I think it is going to go down to the last round, and that's assuming that we were right with those first two. Butt got a little bit away in that 2nd round. I think it was Cook. The judges may have seen it differently. And that's it.
Absolutely unbelievable, guys.
And Jeff Faze is with us, and he thinks it's 2-2 as well.
We got a last round coming down. Who wants it, guys? Who wants to be the champion?
And you've got to say, momentum swayed right now. David Butt, he doesn't look all that pretty, but he's got that momentum coming his way. It's all going with him at the moment. Can this Hyatt Valor judo fighter come over the top after losing the first 2 rounds potentially and walk away with the belt for $3 grand?
Absolutely.
Well, he's certainly not able to breathe through his nose. He's struggling to see through out of his eyes. But he's really taken it up to this young kid, and at the moment, all the momentum is going the way of Dave Buck.
It is. You've got to say, though, Cook's remained composed for everything that he's thrown at him. He's rolled with the punches. He's gone to the ground. He's defended. He's closed up any gaps that there were. And he's really, the tide's against him, but he's still in this.
Guys, have either of these boys fought 5x5 before?
Not sure. I'm not even sure if either have actually done three fives, let alone the full fights. But look, they're going to go into the 5th round, which not many MMA fighters get to do. So we're going to see. Look, if Adam can refine that footwork he had earlier and instigate some of those kicks, it's going to be his round. If Dave can continue to bridge that gap, get in close and land these shots.
Yeah, now statistically in mixed martial arts, when a fight does go to the 5th round, it's actually very rare to get a finish. Both of these guys, you can see, they're out on their feet. They're looking for the finish, but they often don't have the pepper. They don't have the gas left in the tank to close the deal off. So this could go to the judges.
A great respect shown from both these boys. They're going to touch gloves. No, Adam Cook saying he doesn't want to touch gloves. Turning it back on the boys from Hyatt Valor judo.
Every time. Where is it? We've got a mouth guard incident.
Put it in. I think Dave was even suggesting maybe a slight hug when we go into this last round. But Cookie says, nah, let's just punch instead.
Yeah, why not? It reminds me when Pat Barry and Mirko Krokop fought. They spent more time hugging than their 2 kickboxers.
Here we go, guys. 5th and final round, proudly brought to you by Bulk Nutrients, Punch Equipment and Hotel New York. Valor 8, what a sensational night it's been here. There's that rib kick again.
And every night you come down to Launceston or Devonport or Hobart to watch a Valor card, you think you've walked away seeing the best one yet. I've got to say, tonight, this fight is just outstanding. 5 5-minute rounds, away we go. Thought that Cranston Laycock and his partner went well last time. This could take the trump for the best fight we've ever seen in Valor history.
This is a cracker, very technical, very tough. Lots of the both of them really thinking out what they need to be doing in this fight.
And that's a really good point that you made. It has been a very technical fight. It's not just 2 blokes there playing rock'em sock'em robots. There's a lot of technique in this. You could see early on, Cookie working that rib kick, and then David coming back with some fantastic stuff in the 3rd and 4th.
Cook really, he's looking unblemished when you look at him compared to David Butt. But the momentum has been going the way of David Butt in these last couple of rounds.
It has. You saw a big right from David there, but
he's popped that eye open. That right hand of Cook has popped the left eye open.
Now this is where we've got an incredibly experienced referee in John Sharp. He has refereed at the top levels, And we need to take into account fighter safety, but we also need to take into account that a lot of this damage is cosmetic.
Absolutely. The blood's running off to the side of his head. I don't think it's going to impair his vision.
Yeah.
He's taking a backward step. He's been cut before. He's been in this position before.
I think he kissed the supermodelling days goodbye, though. And there's that switch kick we were talking about earlier. You can see he swivels his hips so well, looks to go high, but chops it down at the last second there.
He's probably done Dave Butt a favour by popping that left eye.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to ask, with this fifth round, and it is looking pretty even, will the judges look at that damage? Will they look at David Butt?
Power shots. They're both coming forward and backwards. They're mixing it up. This is going to be a tough one, guys.
Will the judges look at David Butt and think that conceptually he looks the worst guy, so after the fifth round, he's lost that round?
Absolutely.
You can see as we almost reach the midpoint of the fifth and final round here for Valor. 2-year anniversary, we've got this lightweight tournament. And that eye just looks straight out of a horror film, but he's not giving up. I think John Sharp needs to take a look at it right now. The doctor's coming into the cage to have a look at it.
Look, it looks like it's pouring off to the side. I'd be very happy. It'd be a very sad situation though.
Yep, he's not calling the doctor and he's just clearing it off a little bit, just checking to see if he needs the doctor.
Nice little breather when they got half a round to go.
And one of the great things about having these referees down here so consistently, they know the fighters, they know the tolerance, they know that David Butt's been here before, he can fight through this.
He just got some instructions from his corner then saying, you give it everything right now. I can see, I'm expecting a burst here from David.
And that was right through the goalpost.
Oh, that one's it.
That's middle stump.
That's not what you want after 20-something minutes of fighting.
And as if he hasn't taken punishment.
Second one. just in case your ribs, your face, your nose, your legs, your knuckles, your hands aren't hurting, let's put the gonads on the list.
Now referee John Sharp's here, and I can see his lip. He's saying that he's got to take a point.
He is not.
No, I think he said one more time.
One more.
Oh.
Lucky I'm not an interpreter because my lip reading might not be that good. He did certainly mention though that idea of taking a point, and that's something with these fighters fighting with their opposite stances. We've got to be aware of this.
I completely misinterpreted myself. I heard, have you ever seen Point Break?
There you go.
That's what I heard. Great Canoe Reeves movie.
Maybe War Child is here this evening. On the subject of War Child, Kit Dale, wouldn't it be great to see him step into mixed martial arts?
Oh, absolutely.
Dave Butt is in a world of hurt.
I'm not sure what world he's in at the moment. I don't think it's the same one that we're occupying, Bushy. He's in a different place at the moment, and he is in real trouble.
Look, he's got the time to recover.
He does have that 5 minutes, but I think that his testicles might be somewhere up around his lungs.
And you know what, guys? This pisses me off. I'm going to say it. The crowd is starting to boo Dave Butt.
Get ready for 2 minutes 20
He's
of
coming back.
hardcore MMA action, boys.
This is absolutely insane. He's just checking to see that they're still there. That's a head kick that's gone just over the top.
And Dave, I think Dave's going to bite down the mouth guard here and go to work. And Cookie's going to try and pick him off as he does that.
Keep them kicks clean, guys.
Cookie with it. Oh, he got lazy with a spinning back kick in his first fight, but that one didn't miss the mark. As we hit the final 2 minutes here. If there's any doubt that these two are the two of the toughest blokes in Tasmania, or possibly even Australia, surely they put that aside tonight.
Cookie going back to that picking motion that he started off with.
Yeah, chopping down there again, and David Butt still, that low shot is still giving him a world of trouble.
Absolutely. We've got 90 seconds left on the clock. Anyone could steal this round right now.
Yeah, Cook now unleashing on the kicks. He's really taking advantage of the lack of mobility that Butt's got, and he's just hitting those shots as he comes in. He's coming in a lot slower.
Look, if I was Adam Cook now, I'd be trying to instigate maybe a takedown to steal the round. If I was Dave, I'd try to instigate a flurry on the cage to really leave an impression in the judge's mind.
And that's it. We said it came down to the final round. This could even come down to the final minute.
Absolutely. This round's so even.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I'm not wearing one of those blue judges shirts right now.
Absolutely.
And you've got to say, whichever way they go with this fight,
they've both earned it.
They've both earned it. I dare say the winner has got to buy the loser a beer tonight. Possibly from a hospital bed.
That's it. Dave still moving forward. Adam picking his shots as he comes forward.
40 seconds to go. David Butt wearing a crimson mask at the moment. Cook still looking the part, but as we said, here we go.
He needs to break off and flurry. 30 seconds to go. He needs to break off and flurry.
Keep work. Let go of the cage.
And whoever can do that most effectively might take the 3 large.
That's it.
So they're right above us in the commentary position.
Butt just working the midsection. Inside last 10 seconds now, guys.
And he's going to 10 seconds. Let's bring
I think it's a fairly neutral position. Cook winds up on top.
Watch the up kick.
Who gets it? I don't know.
Oh, there you have it, guys. Absolutely unbelievable main event.
Look at these two.
Absolute warriors.
What great respect for both of these guys as well. Phil McNally and Stan Ensign Hyatt have done an absolutely sensational job here tonight. Big thanks to Bulk Nutrients, Punch Equipment, Hotel New York. Grant, you've got to get up and have a talk to these boys. But
I do.
Just have a look at some of the highlights while the boys get their composure in centre ring.
And look, there's going to be plenty of it. 25 minutes of action, guys. First time ever in the Valor cage that the title fight's gone the distance. And both guys put all their heart on the line.
25 minutes in the main event, 9 minutes before 34 minutes these guys have been grinding it out in centre cage. And Dave Butt, mate, he's in a world of hurt.
Beautiful. Like you said, they've gone to the distance twice tonight. We have gone to the judges' scorecard. Bushy, give me your prediction.
Mate, I'm going to lean away with the young fella. I know his first couple of rounds, just his composure. And as you said a little bit earlier on, the judge is going to take into consideration the damage on Dave Butt. He came in with some damage, but have a look at this in centre ring. Absolutely unbelievable. We're going to go over to the official decisions team, but these guys, and Dave Butt said he was hoping that Adam Cook would win it if Dave Butt wasn't in the finals. So
Absolutely, you got enough respect for these guys. Look, I'm torn. I think the first 2 rounds definitely went to Cook. I think the third and fourth went to Dave. Definitely that last round was so close. Dave got that flurry at the end. Look, this is borderline. The scary thing is, are they going to, because it is so borderline, look towards that damage? Look, just to even it up, I'm going to say Dave.
We have a representative, please, from the Bulk Nutrients team to come and present the lightweight belt.
Tell you what, Callan, you go a long way to find a fight as good as that.
That was sensational. Heart, everything you want in a mixed martial arts bout. Great skill. Wasn't 2 guys in here just swinging. Both use technique and discipline to instigate game plans. They both showed heart. They both showed determination. Both rocked, both injured at some point in the fight, and stood up, spit down on the mouth guard, kept fighting.
Yeah, and again, a big thanks or a huge thanks to our main event sponsor here, Bulk Nutrients. Done a sensational job, of course, Punch Equipment, the after party down at Hotel New York.
Hotel New York.
For our official decision.
And there it is, that's what everyone they've both been fighting for tonight. That's what they did, 25 minutes of punchy for. 34 minutes in total, that's unbelievable. That's a big night at the office. You see Craig going to work on Dave's face. Now we go for our official decision.
All right, we've got the guys here from Bulk Nutrients, our main event sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecard, I'm sure you would agree that was one of the best fights in Valor history. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecard. It is a unanimous decision. Judge number 1 had it 48-47. Judge number 2 had it 49-46. And judge number 3 had it 48-47. For your winner by unanimous decision and the new Valor lightweight champion from Burnie, Tasmania, the Smiling Assassin, Cool.
And as Perry Carr was reading out the points, Dave Butt, true respect, was sitting there. He was pointing towards Adam Cook. He realised he hadn't done enough.
Absolutely, shows of class. Ladies and gentlemen, your new Valor lightweight champion, Adam the Smiling Assassin Cook.
Absolutely unbelievable, mate. You couldn't wish for a better way to finish this show here tonight.
Absolutely not. Look, they both put it all in. Great, another great production here from the team at Valor. They never do second-rate shows. First time we got to stream it, people around the world got to see what sort of product Valor are producing.
And
second to none.
So well, let's go over to Grant Bradshaw. Quick chat for our new champion, Adam Cook.
Before I say anything to you, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you because I've been watching mixed martial arts for probably 15 years now,
you were 4 years old when I watched the first fight, and that had to be one of, if not the best fights I have seen. Who's with me, Launceston? Mate, watching that fight from right cage side there, the first 2 rounds, you were in cruise control. You had it, okay? David came in with an opened up eye. You took advantage of it. You cracked him with some huge kicks around the ribs. About, after the second round, he couldn't see. He had a massive red mark there, and then the tide turned. How were you feeling after 2?
After 2, I was completely wrecked. Sorry. After 2 rounds, I was completely wrecked. I knew David had the 3rd, and I thought David had the 4th. So going into the 5th, I had to suck it up, and I had to leave it all in there.
And I think everybody saw tonight that's exactly what you did. Both yourself and David Butt gave not just 100%, you gave as much, 150%, maybe even more. Now, what was the strategy going in there? Was the strategy there to keep the distance?
Definitely. David is one of the best strikers at 77 kilos. He definitely has the knockout power at 77 kilos. He has a lot of guys fearing that right hand at 77 kilos. During his last title fight with Callum Potter, Callum Potter's very skilled, very technical, amazing mixed martial artist, and all it took was David to nail him with that right hand, and the fight was almost turned completely. And Callum Potter's a skillful guy, and that was at 77, so at 70 kilos, I know I had to be careful. I know he has that one hand knockout power, so it was keep the distance, use my legs, and stay away from that right hand.
Because we know that even though these guys weigh in at 70 kilos, and that's what we're talking about here, and you're not the biggest of lads, when he got in that ring today, he was in there at about 83, 84 kilos because he did such a huge job cutting weight and a fantastic job cutting weight. Now, mate, I remember the very first time I watched you in this Valor octagon here. I don't know if I'm allowed to call it an octagon, but I will because it's got 8 sides. And it was something special, okay? I spoke to you after the fight, and you've been with Oscar Harding for a long time now. I think you've been training since you're about 7 years old. Tell us about the people you need to thank for getting here today.
There's too many people to thank. Number 1 is definitely Oscar Harding. He does an amazing job. He'll always give up his time for anyone that's keen to fight. Whether it's 6:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock at night, if you tell him you want to train, he'll be there. Always give up his time to work with you. And he never asks for much in return. So number 1 is definitely Oscar Harding. Like you said, he's been with me since I was 7, and I couldn't have done it without him. Sorry. I'd also love to thank everybody, every single person that comes down to train at Shen Academy, whether it's holding pads, joining in class, or just come down and having a joke. Everyone that's down there is great. It's just like having a second family down there. Completely different atmosphere to what anyone expects from a martial arts dojo, from a mixed martial arts dojo. We really are like a second family. All the guys there just always happy to work with you, have a joke, train when you're keen to train, and help you out through all the tough times as well, not just training. So thank you to everyone else down at Shen Academy. And yeah.
Now, as I've got you, I'm going to give you a break for a second, mate. I've got Oscar here. We just said, mate, you've had this guy with you since he was 7 years old. How does it feel for you right now seeing him here just achieving this pinnacle of Tasmania mixed martial arts?
Look, I actually couldn't be prouder of the boy. Look, my voice is sore from shouting. Adam puts in, anybody would proud to have this boy in their gym. Do you know what I mean? He'd be a star no matter where he fought and what style he fights. He works hard, he puts in, he does the right thing. He's a team man, he's a club man. And he's everything that anybody wants in a club, and he represents the sort of person that our club's about. people who care, people who train, people who are respectful, people who love the sport, train hard for the sport, for the martial arts, right? And they fight as well. They don't train to fight, they train for martial arts, they love it, and they get to fight. It couldn't be any better.
That's fantastic, Oscar. And I think this belt here belongs not just to Adam, but to all of you guys at the Shen Academy.
Sorry I'm taking my time, guys, but there's definitely 100 more people that I've got to thank, but I'd love to slip in a couple more. First of all, my beautiful girlfriend, as Oscar just mentioned, Katie. She couldn't be more supportive. Whenever I'm doing weight cuts, you know, clean eating, Katie, you know, does it with me. She never sneaks off and, you know, has chocolates, and she does it all with me. She keeps all the food in the house clean, natural, makes life so much easier. My family's always been supportive, even though it's not their preferred choice for a career for me at times. Getting punched in the head is probably not the best choice for your son, but they've still always supported me. Ed Jones, I know he's here somewhere. He's done an amazing job with a lot of photography work for me. Has not asked for anything in return. WMD fight shorts. WMD from Sydney sent me my fight shorts. Again, they didn't ask for anything. They just wanted a chance to get their name out there, and, you know, got in contact with me, sent me my fight shorts again, not asking for anything. So thank you to those guys, and just once again, thank you for everyone for your support. But thanks again to Dean Simons, my roommate. Again, he does his best to keep clean food in the house when I'm around. If it wasn't for him, I would not have made weight yesterday. There were times in the sauna where I literally got up and went to get out, and he had the balls to stand there and push me back down and call me a girl and tell me I had to stay in to lose that weight. I only made weight by 80 grams. So if Dean had to let me get out of that sauna when I wanted to, I would not have made weight, and I would possibly not be here. So thank you very much to Dean Simons as well.
Mate, they say you get out what you put in. You enjoy your night tonight, my friend. You have earned it. Your lightweight champion, Tasmania, and the world, the smiling assassin, Adam Cook.
And thank you to Valor for putting on this amazing organisation. Phil and Dan, thank you. I could not be in Tasmania doing what I love without you guys. So thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your lightweight champ, the smiling assassin, Adam Cook.
On behalf of CEO Phil McNally, matchmaker Dan Edson Hyatt, Associate Director Matthew Digham, my name is Perry Cale. On behalf of GFL Paris Productions, please drive safely, everyone, and have a good night, everyone. See you next time, and see you at the after party at the Hotel New York. Paris Productions, guys. Fight Sports. Thursday nights, 8 o'clock on Channel 183, and Sunday mornings, 11:30 and 5:30 on Foxtel and All Star, Channel 183.